And just like that, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. You saw the thumbnail, you saw the title. So you know what we're about to do. We're going to get into the deep weeds. I'm telling you, the deep weeds. So get your boots, get your hats, get your gloves. We get into the deep weeds of the Macron versus Owens discussion. But don't have no fear. Have no fear. I am not going to be the one leading this conversation. We have a fantastic legal mind expert to come in and talk about this. So I do want to give him an opportunity to talk about who he is and give him an opportunity to introduce him to the audience. So before we get too far afield, thank you so much for jumping in to the best live chat on the internet. Please make sure you jump into the chat, say what's up, say hello to your people, all that kind of good stuff like that. And before I get too far afield, I'm going to introduce a legend. He is a legend, and his name is Legend from the Heavy Metal Lawyer podcast. How are you, friend?
What's up, man? How's it going, Jay Witt? Thanks for having me.
Oh, hey, no problem. And thank you so much for having me, for being willing to come on. I saw your discussion about Candace and the Macron situation. And as I told you before, I was like, I liked it because I was mad when you got done. I was like, how dare he not agree with me? And then you put another video up. I'm like, oh, good. He agrees with me. And I was like, you know what? That's a smart lawyer right there who can argue both sides of the case. And I'm over here conflicted. I'm all conflicted over here. So Real quick, tell us who you are. Tell us about your channel. If the mods can go ahead and drop the Heavy Metal Lawyer in the chat so people can check out what you're doing. Tell us who you are, Andy.
Great. Yeah. So I'm Andy. I go by Legendesk, right? Because it's like Legendesk and ESQ is for the lawyer part.
I see what you did there.
At my handle on YouTube is at the Heavy Metal Lawyer. Basically, I'm pretty much a rock star when it comes to like law. I'm not some like buttoned up, like, oh, this is the law, blah, blah. I kind of make it a show, and I do a lot of jury trials. So that's where this came out, where I basically treat it like every jury trial is like a show.
For sure.
Spotlight. How can I not? So when I see things like this, the thing with Candace Owens, I'm not really into politics. I come into it and I'm like, what the heck is going on with this? What is going on? But I like to evaluate the case on both sides, because if you're a trial lawyer, you have to see where your side is going to win or where your side is going to lose, because if it's going to trial, it's a game, right? And you got to know how to play it. So that's kind of what I like to present on my channel.
I love it. Now, before we end, you're going to have to grab one of those guitars from the back and play us a little outro. I'm just going to say that. I'm just saying that if we get 200 people in this chat, you're gonna have to give them something. You gotta give them something. The most
copyrighted song, so we just get like flagged.
No, come on.
He'll nuke both of our channels and come after me.
Come on, man. It's hard enough. It's hard in these streets, man. It's hard in these streets. How long have you been practicing?
Oh man, you're gonna date me, bro. You're gonna.
Okay, I'm sorry.
All right, I've been practicing for 35 years. No, I'm kidding.
Boy, if you don't stop.
All right, I'm in LA. It is super hot in here, and I had to turn off the AC because I set up my studio under the vent, so like I'm just dying right now. But anyways,
okay,
I've been practicing for over a decade.
Okay,
graduated from like a top tier law school in the U.S.
Sure.
And no one, I don't think, I went to law school not realizing that I don't think I want to be a lawyer. I just work as one, but it is what it is. So here I am. You know what I mean? I
got you. I used to tell people, I don't know what I want to be when I grow up. They're like, but dude, you're a classroom teacher. I still don't know what I want to be when I grow up. So now I'm a podcaster. I'm a retired teacher. Now I'm a podcaster.
Nice.
All right. So out there in LA and been practicing for about a decade or so, try to trick me. What got you into music though?
Oh, bro, I've been listening to music since since my ears came out. Actually, not true. I started listening to music when I was younger. I listened to Michael Jackson a lot.
I love it. Okay.
Tape for bad, and now I'm really dating myself because I said tape. Everyone's like, "What the hell is that?" A tape was a cassette tape. That's how this came out. I had bad, and I loved it. I knew that like front to back, and I never got into music. Never even thought I would play music until I was in middle school. Started playing music, and that's actually what led me to want to be a lawyer, because I eventually joined a band, and I wanted to like copyright our songs. So I studied.
Gotcha.
I like started reading copyright books and stuff, and I was like, dude, this is cool. I'd love to do this as a job. Ended up going to law school. Ended up doing a totally different career path, but here I am, full circle. Now I'm like helping creators, which is really fun because like I'm in this space now. So I'm kind of getting back to where I wanted to be when I started. But yeah, that's how I started playing music. And
that is crazy.
These few instruments. I also have a kazoo. I'll have you all know I'm very good at that. And a harmonica,
I'm going to
I'm
actually,
not so good at.
I'm going to ask you not to play the kazoo. Fun fact, a good friend of mine from elementary school, he actually is I dare say, a professional harmonica player. He plays in blues bands in Chicago. And Tony is phenomenal with the doggone. Yeah, he plays all the time. I think it's funny. I mean, he always has one on him. It doesn't matter. We could be swimming in the middle of the ocean. He's gonna roll up with a kazoo. Like, where'd you get this? Where'd it come from?
I'm waiting for the app to come out so I can use my iPhone as a kazoo. That'd be awesome. No, I'm kidding.
I'm gonna need that not to happen.
Harmonica, whatever.
You gotta stay authentic though, man. You gotta stay authentic.
Yeah.
All right, let's get at it now.
Let's do it.
Legend, can you please, for us, explain what in the world is happening in France? What's going on with the Macrons versus Owens? Just the overview of this case. Help break it down.
Yeah, so it sounds like, from my research, again, I wasn't following until I started getting into it. Candace latched onto this story that was like more than like an old wives' tale, but less than legit news in terms of how hardcore it was. And she stuck with this idea that Brigitte Macron was never, or was always originally a man. Mm-hmm. Her chromosomes are XY. That's what it comes down to.
Correct.
Forget like how you want to present and all that stuff right now. The idea is, she said, there was a transition at some point. And Candace kind of went down this road with what other journalists were saying previously, even though that story was kind of killed in France somehow. What I'm noticing from a lot of the comments on both of our channels is a lot of people are like, yeah, this is well known. We don't care about it. The French are like, yeah, we heard it. We're done with it. But Candace revealed it to the rest of us, right? Like the US, we had no idea. We weren't really following that. And she started pulling on this thread. And the more she pulled on it, the more aggravated people got. So, of course, she's thinking, I'm onto something. What is going on? So She comes out and she goes, all right, this is serious. Hold on. Sorry, my AC just kicked on. She goes, I don't know if you guys can hear it. Oh, okay. Sorry, my bad. So Candace comes in and is like, all right, I'm onto something. I'm going to pull this thread more. So she comes out with this Becoming Brigitte series, right? And that takes off. We all know that. And now the Macrons, which is so interesting, the heads of state in France, this is a NATO country, okay?
Yeah.
They come all the way to the US to sue her. And we'll talk about that more. I know we're going to get into that. But they sue her for defamation and false light, which is pretty much, they're very, very close in Delaware. Mm-hmm. And they're just coming after her, which only makes everyone else look at that and be like, maybe this is legit. Like,
maybe it is legit, right?
So that's where we're at. So now I'm kind of thinking, okay, how could they win? And how could she win? And who's going to win? I don't know. But there are two trials going on. I'm going to tell you that. There's a trial in court, and there's the trial in public opinion. And they're happening simultaneously.
Well, the trial in public opinion is a dumpster fire. So we are just knuckling it out here, street sweepers in the social media streets. But I want to go back because you mentioned something a lot of us have talked about, that in France, I've had people from France email me, comment in the chat and say, we don't care about it. Would you put it in the same kind of boat as the argument about Barack Obama not being born in the United States or Michelle Obama being a man? Kind of like we're not getting, Americans are not bothered by that. It's whatever.
Yeah. So I always think about how Obama didn't really legitimize. He just was like, bro, here's my birth certificate. See ya. He never went after like anyone. He could have sued them. He could have done all that stuff, but he didn't make a shot of it, which was brilliant because it's gone now. We don't care.
Right.
What's going to happen? So the Macrons are making, I think, a public opinion mistake by legitimizing this and being like, we're gonna go to court, and it's like, I don't know. So yeah, I think that like the Obamas are handling any kind of controversy super. Imagine if Obama dragged this out in court. It would have been really bad. It would have been
a mess.
Yeah. And so I smart to be like, nah, this is stupid. But they're not doing that. So I don't know.
Okay. So you mentioned a term, and I would love for you to expound on it. You called it false light. And I'm like, what's false light? I got real lights in my room. Like, what is false light? Can you explain what false light is? And you said it's very similar to defamation. And why does that even matter?
So defamation is like, I'll give you the distinction. Defamation is like you said something untrue about someone and it hurt them. Like you just lied about something and you caused damage.
Hurt my heart.
False light is like a little different. It's like spin. It's spinning something. It's like you don't have to say the exact untrue thing, but you spun it up so much that you're making it look like it's not what it really is. And that's it. They're very similar, but it's like it's
Can I give an example?
Gossip.
Can I give an example?
Sure.
If I said that, if I'm understanding you correctly, if I said Legend really does not know how to play the guitar, he's a horrible guitar player, he's trash, that would be defamation. Is that fair?
That's more opinion. It would be
okay.
Legend's not really a lawyer.
Oh, okay. There we go. Legend's not really a lawyer.
Yeah, because that's a truth. Like I'm either a lawyer or not.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how good I am. I probably suck. But like,
that's fair.
So it's like he's not a lawyer. All right, boom. As opposed to stuff like, I don't know if he actually practices. I don't know if he says he does this stuff, but I've never seen it. Have you guys seen it? I've never seen it. And like,
is it plausible that he's not really?
Yeah, it's a little different, and it's like,
I got you.
You know what I mean? It's like a step away from saying the actual thing,
right?
But it's still doing the same kind of damage, and it's just like it's not true. Like you're spinning it on purpose to hurt the person. That's the key, especially with a public figure. That actual malice is what's going to probably save Candace. But there's a difference in, you and I are public figures, arguably, because and in California we have like semi-public figure, which is like middle ground.
What's a semi-public? What's a semi?
Like you and I are semi-public figures, but like.
Oh, okay, cool.
I mean, both of us are world famous, obviously, but like we're not famous on Mars yet. Yet we're gonna be. You know what I'm saying? But like, that's like semi-public figure. But like in the situation with the Macrons, they're obviously public figures. They're heads of state.
For sure.
So now a person in the U.S. gets an extra layer of protection against a defamation lawsuit and a false light lawsuit. That extra layer is the actual malice, saying you not only said something untrue, but you knew it was untrue and you said it to hurt them. That's the key. And so we'll see how Candace fares with that. And that's my theory about her ability to win the case.
Well, no, I agree. Now, you and I might be semi-public figures, but I want to know who's real public figures are the moderators. Shout out to Lady Luck Club. Anybody with the blue, you got that wrench next to your name. You are not only a public figure here, probably on Mars and in the multiverse. So shout out to all my moderators. Thank y'all so much for keeping our guest. There we go. Thank you so much.
Hey,
at the Heavy Metal Lawyer. Y'all go check out what he's doing over there. I promise you. You're going to watch a video. It's going to probably make you mad. Watch the conflicting video or the contrasting video before you get too angry at him. Because I'm telling you right now, Legend does a fantastic job. And that's what I thought why I reached out to him is because I was like, man, I watched this video and it was about how Candace could win. And I was like, no way, he's wrong. And then I watched the other video. I'm like, oh, good. He got his wits about him. But I think that's the great part is that a lawyer is able to argue both sides and they can themselves see where the argument is strong, where the argument is weak, how they could win, how they could lose. So shout out to him. Thank you so much. No problem. If you could. All right. So we talked about that, the case in general, and I think we have a better understanding of it. There's a little bit of kerfuffle. Why in the world are they suing her in Delaware? Now in Delaware, and then why not Tennessee? And then is it legal to even come from another place and sue somebody in the U.S.? You want to unpack that?
Great questions. So let's say why Delaware versus Tennessee, right? They could sue her. So when you sue someone, you have two things you have to prove to a court before you can walk into a court and say, I'm suing so-and-so. So you have to have standing, which is what I like to call like, what's your problem? Like I can't walk up to two guys fighting in the street and be like, hey, I'm suing you for punching him. Everyone's going to look and be like, what the hell's your problem? You're not even involved in this. Why'd you get involved? Right. That's step one. So it has to be something that you are affected by. That's standing. And the second thing is jurisdiction, which is why the court's going to be like, why are you getting me involved? Why would the court be involved? So if they came to California, it might be, I mean, there's some argument there, but essentially they're like, why are you getting us involved? Like
Georgia.
Sue her where she is.
Right.
So she's in Tennessee, but
Hmm.
Candace Owens LLC is incorporated in Delaware.
Here we
So
go.
they have the standing because they're saying, hey, she's affecting us, right? So what the hell's
Hmm.
your problem with it? She's talking about us. And the second thing is Delaware's gonna be like, why are you involving me? It's like, because it's one of your citizens, not citizens, but it's one of your domiciles, which is where you're living or doing business. This corporation is a person, it's a fictitious person, and it lives in Delaware. So they have a right to pick Delaware. Now, they could have also picked Tennessee and dragged the rest of her companies into the Tennessee court, but that's what's called forum shopping. They get to pick which arena they want to fight in, and they
Gotcha.
play against her in the rules of that arena. That's a cool thing. It's an interesting thing.
So if I'm understanding correctly, the Macrons could not have come over here to Whitaker Park here in Georgia and said, hey, we're going to sue Candace here in Georgia, because there's clearly no affiliation. Her LLC's in Delaware. She lives in Tennessee. And I'm just like, hanging out here. And they couldn't have come to Legend Park and been like, hey, we're going to sue her over here in LA.
Right.
Maybe they could have, but I mean,
theoretically, they could have on the internet. And it's like, well, this happened online. But yeah, like the court's going to be like, why are you bringing us into this? Well, we don't want to deal with this. So Delaware is the key. And we all know, like, a lot of companies in the US are incorporated in Delaware for many reasons, because Delaware has a lot of corporate law that's developed, and they did a lot of like things in the last like few decades to make corporations want to come to their state, even though you're doing operations everywhere else. They want you to incorporate in Delaware. So now you've got this, you're submitting yourself to the laws of Delaware if your corporation messes up. That's where we're at.
Okay. So if me and you start, Wit and Legend LLC, you want to go to Delaware and start it, incorporate it there?
Maybe. I don't know. We'll see.
Okay. Think about it, man. Pray about it for sure. Okay. So but can we talk about the whole fact that the Macrons, they kind of live a little far away from Delaware and Tennessee. Right. They're in France. Is there any kind of precedent of suing a U.S. citizen in the U.S., even though you yourself don't live here?
Yeah, people do it all the time. But when it comes to the Macrons, I'm like, wouldn't you think they're kind of like Dorothy? Like, there's no place like home. Like, they are literally the president and his wife of a whole country.
A whole country.
You've got like so much political clout. Like, tell me about anyone else who's higher than them? Like, not even the Pope, I guess. I don't know. Like, France is like legit, like they're the top. All right.
Correct.
So why are they leaving their home territory? And I'll tell you another thing that I know. When I was in law school, we had a French legal scholar who was a professor, and he came out to my school, and he was like talking to us about like defamation, because I was taking like a new media class, and he was like, so weird, like all these rules online, like someone can just come in and like say a bunch of garbage about you, and you guys in America are all about, well, hold on now, did they have actual malice? Is it not true? It's like, dude, you just ruined someone's integrity, or you're just attacking someone's integrity online, and you Americans care so much about it. We care about the individual. And we, on the other side of it, we're like, hold up, we're all about free exchange of ideas. As long as you're not saying something untrue or doing it with actual malice, say what you want, say your piece, doesn't matter. And you're not inciting violence, obviously.
Yeah, for sure.
So we differ big time from France in terms of what we're dealing with when it comes to what you can say about another person. And so I'm really shocked that the Macrons, who have immense political capital and have the arena on their side, the legal arena in France, are coming to the US. So I started to think, and that's why I came up with this theory that it's a publicity stunt. But,
really? Okay. I'm listening.
Here's the theory. If they sued in France, no one cares. They already sued the original journalists and all that stuff in France. Nobody cares. We didn't even know about it. We didn't even hear about it. Not even a drop in the water. But they've got Candace over here who's making a big fuss on our side of the pond. Right. And we're all like, oh, what does she have to say? Hold up now. And they're like, we got to fight over there and make a headline. So my theory is they sued in the US to hit the headline. And everyone's like, wait, what? What is this about? We've never heard of French president is coming out here to fight Candace. What is he saying? And then they wrote that whole complaint, which I explained in a lot of detail in my video, but like, and I'm not trying to plug, I'm just saying it's like so long.
No.
All the ways that they like didn't really do what they're supposed to do legally. They just kind of went through everything they want to say to tell their side of the story when they had the spotlight, because they came and sued her here. You know what I'm saying? So like they sued her here, got the spotlight on them, and they're like, well, what do you guys have to say? And like, we have to say all of this stuff. like, that's not all related to the lawsuit. Doesn't matter. We want to say our whole piece right now. Boom, one shot. And I think that's why they did it. I think it's pretty smart.
Okay, so then, all right. Then what would be the outcome of doing it like that? Because I don't see it as a PR stunt. I see it as I have a different opinion. But okay, so what would be the outcome of that then?
The outcome is that we're all hearing the story now from their side, because we never heard their side of the story. We only heard Candace, and in the US, we only heard Candace's side of the story. So they're like, how are they going to get people to think about this? How are they going to get people to hear their side of the story? They got to go on a podcast. They got to go on the news. Nah, they're going to do that. Instead, they said it through their lawyer. No interviews, no sworn statements, no nothing. They just straight up, the lawyer said the whole story in a legal document, and it looks official. And a bunch of people are like, oh my God, this must be official. You can say whatever you want in that legal document. It doesn't have to be true.
Facts. Right.
But I want to know what your theory is.
So I do believe that they want to, I'm not under any confusion that the Macrons are some pure as a driven snow type of people. There's a lot of shadiness going on there. So I'm not arguing that part.
Got it.
However, I do think they want to quash this in a way that puts that causes somebody to at least second guess whether or not they want to do this again, another bite at the apple. So when they sued the lady Ray and Amandine Roy, and they did not sue Xavier Persard, right. It didn't hit like they really wanted. It didn't hit the third rail. This is hitting the third rail. Yeah, whether you like it or not, whether you're really paying attention. And I really think they want to settle this real quick. Like, you don't want to do this again. Nobody wants to do this again, because Candace is out here selling T-shirts to pay her legal fees. And we're going to take the T-shirts too. That's what I think they're doing. Again, I don't agree with them, because there's some pretty gnarly, nasty things in their background that, right. Hey, y'all do realize that you just admitted, okay.
Yeah.
There's some crazy stuff in there. But I really think it's meant to, in that lawsuit, they admitted some stuff that got Americans like, wait, hold on, what? So, but I do think it's meant to, you don't want to do this again.
I 100% agree with that. I think that's a huge part of it. Like, we will come after you in wherever you are. We'll come. We don't have any limit. We don't have a border. We don't have anything. We've got unlimited. And you got to think, like, that law firm that they hired is a legitimate law firm, right?
Right.
There's no way that law firm would be like, nah, no, thanks. This is the president asking you, hey, bro, can you represent us? Imagine putting that on your website. You know, these people they put on the website,
right.
You represented GE, represented France, like the president of France. That's kind of insane. There's no way they're going to turn it away.
No, absolutely not. And they have a little bit of history. They have a little bit of history at being successful at these type of cases.
Correct.
We see you, Fox News. So they've been kind of successful at this. So, so that's my theory. I just, again, because somebody mentioned it, it might have been mentioned in the chat as well. This case is not about all the other gnarly things that they've been accused of.
Right.
All that other stuff, the identity theft and all this other horrible, wretched stuff. It's just about whether or not she defamed them in calling them and saying these things. So a lot of that stuff that people are talking about is not going to come up. It's not going to come up. And I do see people saying, well, hey, she's a multimillionaire. Yeah, she got on the news and said she didn't have $5 million to pay for it. I'm not saying she's not a multimillionaire, but she said it.
Right.
She literally said it, then said, buy my T-shirts to help me pay my legal fees.
Right.
I mean, that's what she said. So,
yeah.
Go ahead.
But I think that, like, so you said something that is interesting, because you said all that other stuff might not come in, but it kind of will in a way.
It will. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Open up this can of worms, because now they have to prove. So here's the crazy thing. Okay. They filed a lawsuit. When you file a lawsuit, you have to prove the allegations. Part of the allegations are that she said a defamatory statement, which is an untrue statement that hurt us.
Mm-hmm.
The untrue part is going to be interesting, because now they have to show that what she said is totally not true, because it's not defamatory if she's saying the truth.
That's true.
There's nothing there. So it's going to get interesting, because, they're going to have to reach a certain point of like, all right, it seems like what she said is untrue. And then she's going to have to reach another point that says, here's the actual truth. And that's my defense. So it's going to be a fight between which one has more proof in a sense, but I don't know if it'll get to that point. We'll see.
And we're going to get there. Okay, because that's question 4. And I know we had 3 questions. I'm sorry. I had 3 questions.
Right.
I'm going to insert another one.
Sure.
Okay. Because this is something that's really, I don't get it. And so since you're a legal expert, I'm going to ask you to help me out. If I am suing, I'm going to sue Willis right here. I don't know Willis, but you know what, Willis, I'm going to sue Willis right here. Willis Martin. And I'm saying that Willis Martin has said some terrible things about me.
Right.
And Willis Martin is doing a podcast, he's doing shows, he's writing books, and just saying really terrible things about me. And I send him evidence that says what you're saying about me is not true. You say my beard is fake. You say I got really crusty toes and I snore at night. And I have evidence to disprove all those things. And I send it to him to prove that those things are not true. Does he get to judge whether or not that evidence is sufficient and whether or not he can stop? Because that's what I feel like Candace did when Macron sent her all these examples. She said, "Well, I don't approve of this. The Chinese facial recognition and this, that, and the other. I don't believe these are true. Therefore, I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing."
Right.
So, can you do that? Go ahead.
So there's a couple of like elements here that we're talking about. So the main thing is that, yes, if you filed a lawsuit, you're going to show that what she's saying is not true. What Willis is saying is not true. You're going to be like, look, here's my beard. Look legit. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now she's got to turn around and say, now you also have to prove actual malice. So because you're
right. But I'm suing Willis.
Right.
Because I sent Willis evidence that my beard is real.
Right.
That my toes are not crusty and I don't snore. Okay. Right. I got evidence. I got my wife has commented. My barber talks about it's real. Right. I send you pictures of my feet and you're not going to get those. So don't y'all even try it. I sent you pictures of my feet to prove these things to be false. So even before we went to the lawsuit phase, I told him like, these things you're saying about me are wrong.
Right.
So and that's why I feel like
I know what you're getting to. You're trying to be like, look, they planted the flag to make it like if she kept talking after we proved it wrong. Macron said,
that's it. Yes.
Yeah. Now that is a strategy point. So I'll tell you what actual malice is because they have to prove actual malice. They have to prove like not only did she get it wrong, but she like didn't care. And actual malice literally is defined in Delaware. I'm looking it up right now. I'm looking at the law right now. It says a publication is made with actual malice if it is made with the knowledge that it is false or with reckless disregard for whether it is false. So now here's their argument. They're going to say, hey, look, she said this stuff, fine, no big deal. But after we sent her the letter in December, we proved to her that this is false. And she continued on because and that is proof of actual malice because she knew that it was false or she was so reckless, she was so whacked out that she said, I don't give a damn, I'm going to just do it. Right? That's reckless disregard for what's true. Here's what Candace is going to say back. You guys sent me faulty pictures. We already knew about this stuff. It's all fake. You guys, if you really wanted to show me something, you could have shown me the blood test or pictures of her. Because I'm Candace. I'm calling into question that there's no pictures of her for 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
Where are the pictures for 30 years? And you sent me pictures of something else. Like, so it makes me think that I'm onto something. And furthermore, she sent them questions, like follow-up questions, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't answer. They just went silent. Because they took that bet. They thought what we sent was enough for a lawsuit. On the flip side, Candace is going to be like, well, I asked you guys more follow-up questions and you guys all got all like janky with your responses or whatever. You're acting shady. So because you're acting shady, I now really legit believe that I'm onto something. So there goes her actual malice. She actually believes it because she thinks that, why wouldn't they answer this? And I kind of get it. Like, why wouldn't they answer it?
I agree 1,000%.
Yeah, so it's a little. They took a chance. They took a chance with that move. If I was their lawyer, I would have been like, do the blood test, send it, we're done. But then we'd have to send it under wraps and blah blah blah, and like no one can know. I don't want my client's blood test out there. But send it to her because if she still publishes after that, we're gonna nuke her. We'll take her for everything because there's no dispute.
Right. So I theorize why they didn't, because I think it would have been a slam dunk. You'd put all these questions at bed if they had just done a blood test. I do agree with that.
100%.
However, I said, what if, do I trust you to keep everything under wraps? Maybe they have a hereditary disease.
Right.
Maybe she's intersex. Maybe she does have two parts. And maybe she does have two parts.
Right.
What if she has, again, like, can the Macrons trust that Candace would keep this information from slipping out? Or, oh my gosh, the courier got mugged and now the information's out and everybody knows. And again, I still believe they could have done that and would have put heads to bed. But then my very last point is, are you under obligation to respond to Candace? Because to me, that's even validating Candace more.
Right.
By saying, I brought up the Cardi B lawsuit or kerfuffle she had a couple years ago.
Yeah,
and say again?
I think she sued her. I think
she never did. She never did sue her. She talked about it.
Okay, gotcha.
She talked very big about it, which I thought was very interesting. But my point is, Candace even took that and said, oh, I broke Cardi B. Like, even in the fact that Cardi B was responding to her.
Right.
That's why I think that they went the nuclear option, because, yeah, you can go around chest beating and say, yeah, I made the Macrons respond to me. I also had to pay $10 million to do it.
Yeah.
So that's just my thought, but go ahead.
Yeah. Oh, I was going to tell you, like, how could they protect their, so you have a good point. Like, there's privacy in the blood test, right? So they could have done a few things though, very easily. Non-disclosure agreement, like, all right, listen, we're going to send you the proof. So you shut your mouth, but here's what's going to happen. We all lock this up. They don't even have, you cannot publish this and you can't even say anything. You just have to end this. Here's a blood test, non-disclosure agreement, sign it. Whew. If you reveal this stuff, you're on the hook for like $50 million. And we're going to send you to jail, and we're going to make t-shirts about you. I don't know what. Like, they could make anything in the contract, right?
Wow.
Then,
okay.
So they could have safeguarded the results that way. Now, okay, something could have slipped, blah, blah, blah. They could have also limited what they share. Like, they took a blood test, and they're like, okay, here it is. End this now. Don't talk about the blood test. Just end it. We all shut up about it. You move on. Never talk about it again. Non-disclosure agreement happens all the time. All the time. And the third thing is, would Candace have thought it's enough?
See, that's the thing. That's the thing. Like,
yeah,
right.
Yeah.
To me, that's the bigger issue. She would have been like, oh, because even when she, I have a video dropping tomorrow where she's talking about when she immediately said, I'll send my doctors to take your blood. Then later on, the narrative is, I never asked for blood. I never asked for blood. No, chick, you really did. You really did say that you're going to take these people's blood. Yeah. So, no, I don't think it would be enough. I really don't.
Yeah.
I hate to say it.
Yeah, she's talking a lot. That's the thing. So, like, she's doing it like how we're doing now. We're just talking. But you got to be careful if you're going to make accusations about, like, pretty powerful people. You got to be careful because, like, you got to have it very limited. That's why, like, with news, their legal teams are like, you can't say this, you can't say this, cut this out, twist this word to say this, say allegedly, blah, blah, all that stuff, because it's easier with, like, print. You just send it, like, you've edited and sent it. But she's, like, going on a podcast. There's a lot of stuff that she slipped and said the blood test, and she's like, oh, I never said that. It's like, bro,
you did.
We see it,
but you did.
Yeah. So that's tough.
Like, even. I believe you watched the 8-part series. I know we are off our questions, by the way. I apologize.
Oh, good.
I know you watched the 8-part series.
You want to know something?
No, please don't tell people you didn't watch it. Oh my gosh.
I didn't watch it.
No, you can't do. No, they're gonna skewer you. Oh, legend. I like you, man. They're gonna come, dude. They're gonna be outside your house, man. They're outside your house right now, man. Watch out,
bro.
Duck.
I didn't watch the whole thing. I watched a lot of relevant clips because I was like, what is going on? What is her just boom, 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 boom summaries? Then I read a lot about it. And then I watched her interviews after, and I was like,
you can't do. Oh, legend.
I'm not an expert on the topic.
The Candace fans are not going to take it, man. They're going to, legend, we're going to put you in witness protection, man. They're coming after you, man. Oh, I like you, man. Darn it.
I'm not going to lie to the viewers. I can't do it. I can't do it. I could have like put myself in a false light and be like, yeah, I'm familiar.
A false light.
I'm not gonna do that. Man. No, I didn't watch the whole series because I'm not interested in someone else's, like, it's a little private. What I care about is the claims by the Macrons, and then if Candace is gonna win or lose. That's all my involvement in this. And so, like, to watch the whole series, I'm not interested in like all the other journalists and blah, blah, blah. Because the reality is, if Candace echoed what they said, she's now on the hook. Anyone down the chain that says what someone else says, they're all on the hook for defamation.
Okay, that's very interesting. In the comment, I should have put somebody mentioned the author of the book, Becoming Brigitte. He makes it pretty clear that this is a theory. This is an idea that I have, not facts. Whereas Candace took that ball and ran down the facts end zone only to stumble and fall. So I think you make a great point. I personally, I've told people I read the Macron lawsuit. I want to read Candace's response.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be fun.
Because that's gonna be the most salient points to this argument. She's not gonna be giving side commentary. She's not gonna take a commercial break. It's not gonna be buy my t-shirts or let me read comments from the live chat. It's only gonna be the stuff that's important to this case. And so therefore, why would I want to read anything else? Like what's the series got to do? And people don't like it. I know they're going to be in their feelings about it, but she's actually added new theories post the series.
I saw that.
Like the dying sister theory is not in the series.
Right.
It's not there. And so, and people are just running with it. Oh yeah, the sister gave her identity to her brother and she was dying. I said, you do realize that's not in the series though.
Right.
So I would not have gotten that if I watched the 8.5 hours of content.
Correct. And there's a new thing too, where they found after the lawsuit, they found that like a guy named Jean Brigitte traveled to the U.S.
Yes.
And they're saying that Brigitte was talking about all her travels to the U.S., but they can't find any documentation of it, but they found documentation of Jean Brigitte. So it's like kind of like, all right, like this is a lot of in-depth like research on like
the MK Ultra, MK Ultra summer camp is what I called it.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I'll tell you this. Count on Candace's motion to dismiss. And I could talk about it more if you want.
No,
Count
here we come.
on it being the full, like her entire story that she wants to get out to the public, posted for everyone to read. Because that's that's gonna be her 15 minutes of fame on this topic, and she's gonna launch it. She's gonna say
for sure.
she wants.
So let's talk about that. So first of all, dismissal. That is a common strategy pretty much in every lawsuit. Is that fair?
Yeah, but in different stages. So well, go ahead. Go, keep going.
No. So if I'm suing Legend or Legend suing me,
right.
Probably the first thing I'm going to do is say, hey, judge, throw this out because the guy he's coming off his rocker. Or you'll say, hey, Jason's nuts. Hey, just throw this out. As a strategy, that makes sense. There's nothing wrong with that. And is that fair? No matter when you try to do it, it is something that happens pretty regularly. Is that fair?
It happens at a different stage usually. So in the beginning, you might do it if, like, let's say I sued you, and I said something like, Jay Witt said that he doesn't like my glasses.
I don't.
You're gonna come out and be like, why is that illegal?
Right.
And then you would file a motion to dismiss because my original complaint doesn't have anything wrong with it. You're like, bro, what? Yeah, I don't like his glasses. Let me
grab mine. Let me grab my glasses.
So that's when. Oh, look at that.
There we go.
Yeah, I don't like your glasses.
Glasses unite.
I'd file a countersuit. I'd be like, I don't
countersuit.
Like either. And the
there we
judge
go.
would slap us both in the face and make it the hell out. So
right.
The idea is that in that stage, you would file it if the claim doesn't have anything wrong. It's like, because every time you file a motion to dismiss, you have to assume that everything the other side said is true. So that's how the judge has to take it. So, okay, assuming everything in the complaint is true, what's your motion to dismiss about? You have to say there's nothing illegal, but there is obviously stuff illegal if what they said is true. Only if what they said is true. So the judge has to take that into account. So typically you wouldn't really file it at this stage. You'd file it after all the evidence starts coming out through a discovery, which is the exchange of evidence by both sides. You'd be like, hey, dude, judge, we got all this evidence. This proves that Brigitte was a man before. We just got it. So now just let's dismiss this case instead of wasting all this time taking it to a jury and all the money and all this stuff. Let's not waste the time. I want a motion to dismiss, or I want a directed verdict, which is essentially the same thing. Like, I want you, judge, to take it in your hands and be like, there's no way a rational jury would find this to be credible. And that's it. So they usually would do it later. But why did Candace do it now? because she kept saying, I want to go to discovery. I want to get
She wants to get to discovery. Right.
It's a win-win for Candace to file a motion now. And I'll tell you why.
Okay.
When I looked at the docket, her lawyers asked to exceed the page limit and character limit or word limit, whatever,
Yeah.
for the motion to dismiss. I'm like, what? Are they writing a book? Like, this is...
It might be.
I think they are. I'm telling you,
No.
get your popcorn out. Because they're going to respond with everything so that the public can read it. And the judge will deny it. He'll be like, look, I gotta assume everything Macron said is true. And if that's the case, then I have to let this case move forward. I can't dismiss at this stage. But they don't care about that. Now, the win-win is this. Either, for some reason, the judge does dismiss it. Boom, she wins. Hey, everybody, I was right. The judge just signed off. Or number two, which is more likely number two, judge will be like, what are you talking about? No, I'm not dismissing. But the whole news cycle picked up everything she said. And she doesn't have to say anything true. She could say whatever she wants in the lawsuit. And you can't be sued for defamation for things you say in court. So she can say whatever wacky stuff she wants to say now. All the crazy theories, whatever she wants. Or if she has legitimate stuff, she's going to put it all on paper for everyone to see in that arena where everyone is now finally paying attention. So it's smart because she turned around the Macron's little maneuver of suing in the US to get the spotlight. She turned it around on him. I think it's a win-win. I think it's smart.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think it's really smart.
Am I reading the docket correctly that she has to respond by 9/11?
Yeah.
Okay, so no matter what, we're going to have something for 9/11 by 9/11 at least.
Civil cases, a lot of times, civil cases drag on and on, right? So it's like, 6 years later, it's like, oh, hey, can I? So they might ask for an extension.
Another one? They already asked for an extension.
The good judge could say no. Like, no, I need it now. Like, okay, fine.
I love it.
We'll turn it in a couple of days or whatever. So we'll keep an eye on that. But eventually, we know already, like, the cat's out of the bag. They want to file this motion to dismiss. They want to make my theory is that they want to make this like book out of it. So they're going to do it. And we'll see. And then when it's denied, they're going to file something called an answer, which is basically a general denial. We don't agree with paragraph 70, whatever. It's like they start in like the 70s.
There's a lot of
we don't agree, blah, blah, blah. Let's move forward. And then it's a fight.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. So here we go, legend. How can Candace Owens win this case?
I think her best bet, there's two ways.
Okay.
Either she can, three ways, really. Okay. Two are related. Number one, the Macrons can't prove that it's what she said is false. Or they kind of do, they hit that mark, and then she comes back with something that shows that actually what she said is true. If she can come back and show that what she said is true, it doesn't matter how much they prove, she wins. The defendant wins. If you're in a defamation lawsuit and you have the actual truth on your side, it's an absolute trump card. Like, it doesn't matter what they do. Let them do whatever they say. And then you just, boom, play that card. You have to win. It's a jury instruction. Automatically, no matter what they said, you win. So either they don't hit the truth mark or they don't hit the falsity mark, or she hits the truth mark and just wipes them out. That's one way. 1 and 2. 1A, 1B, right?
I love it.
Number two is if they don't hit the actual malice, because they have to hit that what she's saying isn't true, and they also have to hit that she said it with actual malice. So if they come in and be like, we sent you the letter. We sent you the letter. Then she's going to say what I said earlier. That letter was all fake. I told you. I thought it was fake. I asked you, can you legitimize some of this stuff? And you guys you ghosted me. So like when you ghosted me, why else would you ghost me unless you have the truth? So you guys, she's going to say, you guys made me think that it's true because you guys dodged the question. You guys acted all sus. Like, I don't know. Why wouldn't you tell me the truth? So she's going to probably hit the actual malice thing. And they're at the highest level of public figure. I mean, they're the heads of a state, like a major country. So she has a lot of protections under that actual malice thing. So I think that's what it would come down to. And it really will come down to if a jury believes it. If a judge sees that there's like just no chance that one side will win, the judge might snatch it and be like, hey, we're not going to waste time. There's no evidence here,
Gotcha.
But it's such a fight that I can't imagine a judge would want to do that. And also, I can't imagine a judge would want to take all that heat and dismiss against the French president, or you know what I'm saying? Or side with the French president when like the people are like, we wanted to see the rest of this. So we'll see how it goes.
Okay. So that's how Candace could win. How can the Macrons win?
The Macrons could win if they say, hey, listen, they convince a jury or a judge most likely the jury, because like I said, I don't think a judge is going to take it in their hands. If they convince a jury, listen, how much more do you want? Like, we sent you the pictures. We sent you an answer to everything that you were saying on your stuff. Like, you're going to keep asking questions for the rest of your life? Like, we've moved on. We already answered. She's not a man. She's been a woman her whole life. Here are some pictures. How many pictures do you want? You want 10 pictures? 50 pictures? 100 pictures? Come on now. Like, you want our blood? Like, this is what I would argue. She wanted blood, literally. Like, that's what I'd say.
She said that.
Blood. And guess what, guys? If we gave her blood, she'd say that's fake. So what more can we do? We did everything we could. She's a journalist. She should have waited out and said, and like kind of said, listen, I'm alleging, this is what I believe, and this is what they're saying. You decide as a viewer. But she didn't do that, ladies and gentlemen. She said it's true that Brigitte was a man. And so that's crossing that line. That's what they'd say. And that's what could win a jury over on the actual Malice thing. It's a fight. This is a fight.
Oh yeah, no question. So there's about 4 or 5 benchmarks, and you feel like the Malice one is the most difficult one to meet, pretty much. So we know that she said it, and all that kind of good jazz. So it's really that last one, the Malice.
Well,
you
there's
feel
one
like
huge card that the Macrons can play. Like, here's my blood, bro.
Well, that's true too.
End of story. End of story. There's nothing she could do. There's zero she could do. Oh well, I thought like, here it is.
Any chance you think that'll happen?
I don't know. It's wacky that they filed the lawsuit. It's wacky. It's like they came down into the weeds. It's like they came to a podcaster. It's not like, because usually they'd sue like someone like Fox News or some news
for sure.
board. We got lots of money. It's like, all right, I'm gonna set these guys up. And I'm going to take a nice payday, get the bag out of this. But like, they're going after a podcaster, and so it's like, okay, like that's wacky. I don't know.
I don't disagree. It doesn't make sense to me either. I'm wondering if they, again, like you're gonna think second. You're gonna think twice before you do this again.
Right.
Whether anybody, me and you are talking about the president of another country.
Right.
And, we might think, try to say, oh man, remember what happened to Candace? Because every time when we're talking about this, people talk about Alex Jones.
Right.
Everybody remember what happened to Alex Jones?
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah, man, Alex got shellacked. Yeah. Right. So it seems pretty clear like this is going to have a chilling effect. No matter where it lands, it's going to have some kind of chilling effect.
Right.
That maybe I don't want to talk about that one. Let me see if there's something else I can discuss this week. Or
maybe we just be better at it. Like, don't say like I'm willing to bet my whole career on the fact that Brigitte was a man. Like, that's like legit. Like, I get all the noise, and I'm cutting right through it and telling you I'm very clearly saying this is a fact. It's like, oh, all right, they're taking her up on the bet. Like that's what's happening.
And that's what she did. And I mean, they took her up on it.
Right.
Any chance that there'll be a settlement?
That's
in your
what
opinion?
I'm thinking about. Like, because a settlement, like they put the chips on. This is like a James Bond Casino Royale, all in on both sides. Like all in. Like, if the Macrons take a settlement, like, are they saying we don't want to show the proof? Like, because Candace can spin it and be like, we got to discovery. I asked them to prove it. They had to prove it in court, and they freaked out. So we agreed to let it go. So that looks bad for the Macrons. And on the flip side, if Candace is like, hey, can we talk about this a little bit? We thought you bet your whole career on it. So what happened?
Right. And that's what I'm wondering. Like, how would they? Okay, give me a situation that settlement would be on the table. Would it be Candace come to them, or the Macrons come to? Like, who do you think is more likely to ask for settlement? Let me say it like that.
The unfortunate reality is that lawsuits are wars waged with the soldiers being money. Okay, so you can't wage a war where you have like 1 million soldiers and the other side has like 50 million soldiers. You're just gonna lose.
Okay, got you. Okay.
It's like, unless you're like, the Spartans and you're in the movie 300, right? Like,
absolutely.
It's gonna be tough. So they have essentially unlimited money or influence and power or whatever. Like, even like that law firm, if like, let's say the Macrons are like, dude, it's gonna be like, he says it's gonna be like 10 mil to do this, or 5 mil, or what, I don't know what. I mean, we don't have that. He's like, it doesn't matter. Listen, your clout is all I need for my law firm. Give me 2 mil. They're not gonna run out. He's not gonna, that lawsuit, that law firm is not going to fire the client. They're going to say, hey, President, yeah, we're not going to represent you anymore.
Right.
Candace's lawyers might be like, hey, this is getting a little pricey. We've been doing this for a year now. Wow. We need more money for the retainers. I'm like, I don't have it. So that's where
sell some more t-shirts.
The arm is twisted. Yeah, sell some more t-shirts, maybe. That's where the arm is twisted, and Candace might come and be like, hey, what can we do to get this to stop? And that's why I think that there is a bit of bullying on that side. But she also was bullying them, by like not letting it go. So it's a little bit like, hey, we could bully you too, that kind of thing.
For sure.
So, but the reality of the lawsuit is a civil lawsuit like this. It comes down to money. If both sides are going to fight forever, it comes down to money, and it's like who's going to run out of money first. So if she starts to run out of money, she might come to the table and be like, hey, what can we do?
So it is a war of attrition in a respect that there is not unlimited funds on both sides. Okay. Now, this was not one of our questions either, so I appreciate you answering as we spitball them out. How long do you think this would take? Like, realistically, like...
It could be years. Like, these civil lawsuits...
Get out of here. Oh, my gosh.
So, that's another thing, too, to consider. I forgot when's the election cycle for the French? The next, it's coming up.
Yeah, it's coming up soon.
They're playing this, be in the headlines a little bit because it's coming up. And I think that will be a part of it as well. Excuse me, because, they might be like, I don't want to... hey, we're losing pretty bad. Let's shut this down, if they're getting into the cycle. Or they might be like, hey, we're kicking butt here. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Keep this thing going. Keep it alive until the end of the election. I don't know.
His term is up on May 13th, 2027.
All right. So
you got another. So
we got time. It shouldn't be that long. But these civil lawsuits can take forever because you don't have a speedy trial right to a civil lawsuit.
Oh, you don't? Okay.
It's with criminal, it's like, hey, dude, I'm being accused of a crime. My whole life is stopped. But in here, in civil, they're like, all right, let's keep going. We need more time. This is how it goes. It's so boring. Like, Judge, they just sent me a letter. I need 2 weeks to respond. All right, cool. Take 2 weeks. 2 weeks go by. It's like, I need another 2 weeks to think about my response. It's like, okay, take another 2 weeks. Then they respond and be like, your letter is garbage. And it's like, the big judge, this letter, they responded, it's like, not anything. Okay, take another 2 weeks or take another month. Give them a real legit letter. Okay, no problem. It's like, it's watching molasses, watching molasses dry. I'm gonna mix a bunch of
yeah. No, wow. Okay.
Real slow. So that's why that's another reason why I think Candace is filing this motion to dismiss so early, because it's hot. It's a hot topic now. Let's get our story out now. Let's not wait, because then it's gonna get boring and people are gonna get bored of it. So let's launch now, and then whatever happens afterwards, people will forget about it. That's probably what's gonna go down.
What if the motion to dismiss or the request to extend the word count and page count was slapped down? What would happen?
Oh, that's a good question.
I just thought about it. I literally just thought about it.
I bet you they would file the same document, just call it the answer. Because after someone files a lawsuit, you either move to dismiss it. Like I said, it's not ready to move at that point. Or you answer it and say, we deny everything.
Correct.
Word by word. They probably would have been like, we deny because this picture right here in paragraph whatever is a lie, and say their story anyways. They're just gonna blurt it out no matter what stage they're in. And so I think that's what they might have gone for. But it was granted. So it's kind of like, okay, cool. We'll see what happens.
So why not just write a response and call it the answer versus all of this? Or do you think it was just meant to get into the news cycle or whatever? Why not just go ahead and answer it?
I think meant to get into news cycle.
That was what you think.
And also it's a better they're throwing the dice. They're like, dude, what if the judge actually dismisses it? That'd be sweet, huh? Yeah, let's file a motion to dismiss. What if it works? Let's do it. Now, I obviously have yet to see what they'll say. What if they say something totally awesome legally and the judge is like, huh, yeah, I might throw out actually counts, 7 and 20. It's like, oh, dude, we just got a little win there. Awesome. I think that could happen. So it's worth it to just gamble on that. Try it.
I love it. I love it. Okay. All right. So we talked about settle. We talked about, of course, dismissal. What does a trial look like?
Ooh. Trial starts with the plaintiff,
Voir dire, right.
and has to start and give their opening statement, and they start bringing their witnesses. They start bringing their evidence. Evidence can include sworn statements from witnesses from before or in live. It can include documents that are authenticated, meaning someone from, let's say it's a birth certificate, someone from the French government has to come in or sign an affidavit saying this is legit. I got it from the records. This is legit. This is how I did it. Blah 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 blah, and it could be admitted. And the judge is the gatekeeper of all the things that would be shown to the jury. So you duke it out kind of behind the scenes. You'd be like, look, judge, I want to introduce this document. Other side would be like, wait, who's going to validate it? Like, well, I got this guy right here. I got this affidavit. And the judge will review and be like, I need more. Or, no, that's coming in. And so they start to know what's coming in. That's kind of in the discovery phase. They're trying to see what are your cards? Oh, here are my cards. What do you got? I got this. And they're trying to figure it out. And then the trial will be after they fight out what's going to be presented in front of the jury. They're just going to start their presentation.
Wow.
And then Candace gets her piece. Then she gets to say if she wants. She gets to call her witnesses, gets to show her documents, gets to show her complete side of it, all in front of the jury. And the jury will decide, was this statement not true? Did it harm the reputation? And did she have actual malice? And then the other piece, did she prove that what she said was true? That beats everything they said. So that's what the trial will look like.
I got you. Okay. Here's a question. Ask him about the hypocrisy of Candace filing the exact opposite of what she says publicly and how that affects her credibility. And I'm going to, thank you, Megan. So I'm just going to add a little bit more to it. Will other things like her podcasts and comments and interviews play into her response, or is it just what she puts in the response?
Ooh, okay. So it's kind of, I'm going to expand the answer
a
little more than the question. So let's start with Megan's question, which is Candace's hypocrisy. So one thing is that the client-lawyer relationship is that the client gets to say where they want to go, but the lawyer gets to steer the ship, how to get there. So the lawyer gets to make the legal moves. Lots of times, you talk it over with your client, but like sometimes, for example, the lawyer will be like, listen, I got to play here. All right. We're going to do this motion to dismiss, like I told you. And it's going to be what you want to do. You want to get your story out. We'll get it out. Here are the risks. Here are the rewards. And what are you cool with it? Even if she says, I don't want to do that, they could still do it, right? Because the lawyer decides on the legal strategy, but the client decides on the end result. So
I want to go home.
What was that?
I want to go home.
Right. So if Candace says, I want out, I want to settle the case, lawyer has to settle the case. If Candace is like, I'm not settling this case, we're going to trial, then the lawyer has to be like, oh man, I got to get paid way more for this because I did not mean to go this far. That's where that hypocrisy comes from, because, and keep in mind, like, people have the right to change their strategy. Like,
for sure,
she could say this and this and this and be like, you know what, I didn't know, it's actually better if I do this motion to dismiss. So would it hurt her credibility in court? No, maybe to the people who might not recognize that there's, you could pivot. It's like a game. It's any strategy game. You might pivot. You're going this way. You know what, we're going to go this way instead and try to get our win.
So let me, go ahead. No, go ahead.
What Candace says outside. Normally, statements outside of court are hearsay. You've got to bring the person in and be like, what did you say? What did you see? What do you think? Right? Whatever. What did you hear? Whatever. However, if it's your party opponent, like if it's the person you're suing, you can bring their out-of-court statements in, even though it's hearsay. It won't qualify as hearsay. It comes in front of the jury. So things that everything Candace says, as long as it's relevant, can come in. So the more she talks, the more ammo they're getting. And they're like, going through all this stuff. Now they got AI figured out. But like anything she says, where she's like, maybe I was wrong. Oh, get that one. Get that one. Yeah. Boom, put that in there. Show it to the jury. She said, maybe I'm wrong. So I
got the video of her saying that. I got the clip of her saying, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm not right. She literally has said that. And I'm playing it against her saying she's right. Okay, so, all right, so take a quick little caveat, little jaunt. Yeah. Here in Atlanta, we had the YSL trial, the Young Thug trial. It was a huge trial, lots of moving pieces. And one of the things I really didn't like was they brought rap lyrics in. I actually have the book, Rap on Trial, back here. Yeah. And they brought rap lyrics in, and these lyrics had nothing to do with the trial, nothing to do with the case, or these. Sometimes they were actually literally throwing people in jail because they were in the rap video.
Yeah.
where legend says, Jason's a low down, rotten, dirty, and then they just throw because somebody else was in the video, that person got thrown in jail.
Right.
Crazy work. So is that about the same thing as this, where something that Candace said that maybe not even related to it? Maybe she was talking about a whole nother topic could possibly be brought in.
Well, no. So if it's relevant, yeah. So the rap thing was
relevant. I'm sorry.
because it's like, like rappers are a lot of times, like especially gangster rap, they're playing a role and they're not actually. But like, it sometimes merges because it's like you get a guy with like, all right, we've seen cases where like the guy is on a video with the same pistol that was used in a murder, and it's like this very distinct pistol. It's like,
right.
I think that he owns that. Like I think that's his. Or people posting on like their short, like they now like a lot of rap videos or whatever music videos are like shorts. They'll be like just a quick clip, and then you hit the Spotify link, and it's like, dude, is that the same gun that was used in the crime? So yeah, you can use that. Lyrics are a little bit hard because they're allowed in on some cases because if the judge thinks that the jury can find that they're actually referring to a legit thing that's related to this case, like imagine if Candace came out with a diss track.
This track would be crazy.
This is basically
I want that.
Tracks, by the way, these two. But if she said something like, "Yeah, I knew it was false, but I posted it anyways," yeah, they could bring that They could bring that in. Now she'd be like, "Well, I was just messing with it," but it's like, come on, like, no, you said it for a reason. It's related to the case. It's one of your statements. It can come in. So yeah, her statements can come in as long as they're relevant.
Wow. Okay, so many a time she's mentioned about, she called it a strongly worded email, a legal email, when it was really those redactions, the December redaction and the January and the March redactions. So they weren't just like me shooting you an email, at 6:45, make sure you got your camera on. Like this was a very serious email. And she kind of played it down for the longest. I'm like, wait, hold on. When I read, I'm like, this is the email. No, this was a very serious email. This was not just by the way, make sure your camera's on at 6:45 before we go live. No, this is a very official document. But she tried to tamper it down. Can that come back and bite her? And they're like, well, this is the document that you're referring to where you got this information, the pictures and the birth announcements and all that kind of stuff. And you just kind of played it like it was just like somebody emailing you just whatever.
Right. That's exactly the argument that the Macrons are going to say. They're going to say that's her reckless disregard for the truth. That's the actual Malice. I'm still looking at it. Reckless disregard for whether it was false, her statements. Because we sent it to you and you treated it like it was some like random text like, hey, can you quit?
Right.
Like, no, this was like an official legal thing that we told you, hey, back off. Here's the proof. And you didn't even go through it. Now, she did kind of go through it, but the way she like wrote it off, it's exactly the argument they're going to make. They're going to say, look at how little care she handled this legal document. We gave her all the proof, and she didn't even treat it seriously. So she's not here to tell you the guys the truth. She's just like pulling in views. That's what they're going to, that's a great argument that they're going to make.
Because to me, I feel like that's kind of like the rap lyrics, where they're going to be like, look what she did on stage when she was performing. Look how she carelessly and recklessly handled this information, running around with the gun in her hand. And now she's saying that she didn't. No, we see it. Like you did.
Right.
And all right, let me see. Here's another question for you. And I didn't get a chance to read it. So, okay. Can you ask him why Jean-Pierre, Brigitte's brother, not part of the case like he was in the case with the two journalists? Oh, okay. I don't. Okay. Do you know why at all?
They're gonna have to bring him in, I think. So to me, like the best way, it's like this whole multiverse thing, like Brigitte, baby Brigitte, then like legit Brigitte, then like was she Jean Michel or John Chuck? No, I don't know what the. Okay, listen, like I think the
crazy.
best way to prove that two people didn't steal their identities is to have them both in the room. So imagine they're sitting in court and Candace is like, she's actually Jean Michel, and like, ladies and gentlemen, Jean Michel, and it's like, oh dang, like this guy just walked in, but remember, Candace's crowd, and Candace will be like, well, how do we know that's him? Here's my ID. I got a fake ID from Central Park, bro. I got not. Well, no, we're gonna bring people from the government to show that's his ID. Show me his DNA. Someone in the comments in one of, I think my videos or your videos or maybe both, was like, bro, 23andMe is $100. Let's get this done with.
I mean, I don't disagree. Okay, so let me ask you this.
Yeah.
if she brings in again, let's say that they just don't want to do the DNA test for whatever reason,
Right.
but they bring in the kids that she birthed, they bring in the brother. Again, like, could they bring in so many witnesses that would do away with it? You know what? We don't even need a blood test because we got the doctor that birthed your babies, that cut the umbilical cord. We wheeled him in here, and this is him.
Yeah.
Like, now, granted, again, I still think that the 23andMe would fix this pretty quickly, but could they do that?
If the jury believes that that's him and what he's saying is true. So anyone could bring in, like, think of like the rap video, be like, oh no, that wasn't really a gun, that was like CGI. It's like,
It's a CGI gun.
like, okay, but like, I don't know if I believe this guy, because like, what's your affiliation again? So the problem the Macrons have is they have a lot of political power. So Candace can do that. I'm the smaller animal, and this big like giant's coming after me.
Yeah.
Dude, they control everything. They control the doctors. So she could say that they control the government. Some government official from France can be, hello, my name is whatever. This is Brigitte's birth certificate, and it's like, I don't know why he's Italian in my hypothetical.
Right. What is that about?
But like, Candace will turn around and be like, that's the government worker. That's the president. You think that he's gonna lie for the president for sure? This guy's head is on the chopping block. So she can always do the conspiracy theory angle. And if the jury believes it, if they believe Candace, she's good. If they believe like the legit, like, hey, look, this is the guy that works here. Hey, I'm the doctor. Like, I literally delivered the babies. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, they could play both sides, and it comes down to what the jury believes. But yeah, no. If the jury believes the witnesses, that is sufficient. Is my answer.
I got you.
But we got to watch out. It's going to flip. She's going to say everyone's a conspiracy in the conspiracy. So.
Oh my gosh. I mean, that could be the end of the. Again, she could lose. She could be writing a check to the Macrons, still saying that this is a conspiracy. Blah 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 blah. So right. I totally get that. Because she's actually already floated the idea that the Delaware judicial system is corrupt. She's already kind of floated that out there when she was on Tucker Carlson. Yeah. And I'm like, no, they weren't corrupt when you started your LLC out there, but now they're corrupt now. Okay.
Yeah. It's gonna be, she might start planting those seeds. We don't know. We don't know what's gonna happen. It's gonna be so interesting.
Yeah. I don't shout out to Lady Luck Club. If Candace goes to court behaving more erratic, the jury might ignore her even the more. Do you think it's possible to get, and now we're well off the reservation, so you don't even have to look at the notes anymore, Legend. Do you think it's possible to get a non-biased jury in court in this case? Is it possible?
Yeah, I think it's possible, because when they do jury selection, oh my gosh, we ask a lot of, look, I've seen celebrity cases where like they bring in hundreds of people and they ask them all these questions. Do you know this guy? Blah, 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 blah. And there's people that won't know her, and there's people that won't care about the French president. They got to find someone who doesn't care about this, hasn't heard about it, hasn't made an opinion about it, and can set aside any biases that they have. It's going to be a long process, but they're probably going to bring in hundreds of people, like hundreds, and try to figure out. Think of like OJ's jury selection. That was insane. Like hundreds of people trying to get it on the jury. Like everyone loved OJ. Like, what happened? I want to get on this. Like they look and they see OJ sitting there. Like, oh man, yeah. I'm whatever you want me to say. Yeah, I'm good, because they want to hang out and they want to see what this is about. So you're going to have a lot of people that are going to try to get in the jury. Some people are going to try to influence the jury, but you can also have a lot of people who don't really know who Candace is, or kind of know who she is, and they don't know what happened. So they'll be fresh. And that's the goal. Someone who's fresh and not biased. That's the idea.
I like it.
Yeah.
So let me see this real quick. Little Mimi says, how did the French court award compensation to Brigitte's brother if he does not exist?
I don't know that they awarded compensation to him. But in general,
I gotta look that up. I don't know that.
I don't know that. But in general, I can answer, how do you award compensation to someone who's died, right? If someone dies and like they're in the middle of a lawsuit, the estate goes on. So like the people who are handling the will and all the property and all that stuff, they continue the lawsuit because that's part of the assets of the person who's deceased. And then whatever the winning is, that goes to that person's assets, and they divide it up according to what the will says or whatever the trusts are or whatever like that. So that's usually what would happen. I'm assuming the French court would be the same, although I don't know French law. I'm trying to fix my pocket square here. But yeah, I don't know.
So I did a quick search. Again, I'm not going to tell you where I searched it. It does say that Brigitte Macron and her brother were awarded damages in the French court in September 2024. A Paris court found the two women guilty of defamatory claims that Brigitte was transgender. The court awarded them £8,000 to Brigitte and £5,000 to her brother, plus a suspended fine of £500. And this is the Le Monde. I'll drop it in the chat. Again, this is hot off the press. I'm just looking. So I'm just going to drop it in the chat. Y'all can check it out. I know the legal eagles will be scouring it, but yeah, so apparently the brother exists.
So,
gosh.
Yeah, if that's another thing Candace should have thought about. It's like, hold on, where is this guy? Because you can then theoretically kind of track it. Like, did they pay? Did they show proof to the court that they paid? How did they show
They
proof?
must have. Yeah, I mean,
typically
I'm reading it right here. Yeah.
Yeah. And then you just say, hey, I mailed the check to this guy's P.O. box. Then Candace can go find that guy's P.O. box. Like, but I don't know how it is in French court. It might be hidden. It might be that they just said, hey, we're square and nobody asked. But she should have asked them, like, hey guys, I'm about to say the same thing on my podcast. Did you guys really legit pay the guy? Like, you found him? It's like, yeah, we paid him. We saw him. I shook his hand. Like,
okay. Hit the Cash App. They might have hit the Cash App, man. Like, Umar.
Where is he?
Yeah.
That's something Candace should have thought about.
Yeah. A shout out to, I'm sorry, whoever said that. Thank you so much. I didn't know this. So that's going to be extra problematic with a side of confusion.
Right.
Because, I mean, they paid the brother. And it says it right here and I just dropped it in the chat. Y'all can check it out. Wow. Yeah, I think this is so fascinating. And it does go to show how much we can kind of just jump on something, and whether or not we like the person or not, whether or not, again, I've said it before, I just don't think Brigitte Macron is very easy on the eyes. She's not what I've been missing. I'll just say it like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Nah, but I believe it's a woman, just not one that I would necessarily want to look at.
Yeah.
So, but that doesn't mean because Brigitte Macron is not something that a woman, rather, that Legend or Jay Witt wants to look at, therefore it's a man. Look out of here. Like, we can't make that logic jump.
Yeah, it goes into bullying when you do that. Like,
I think that's a little bit much.
Schoolyard bullying. But at the same time, I mean, if they can't find like the 30 years of pictures, like, if Candace is right, that could be a big cover up of stuff, right? That's like that's the whole thing. It's not about this. It's about, if they can cover up that, what else are they covering up? And she alleges a bunch of other stuff, right? She's saying that's a ring of a mess. And the French people coming into our both of our comments are like, yeah, we know about that. It's wild over there. It's like, what? Like,
some of that is
all the elites are into some really like Epstein style stuff. It's like, oh, what?
Yeah.
And so, but that's part of the game for them. It's like, it's just part of how it is. It's like, okay.
Let me explain why I don't think, because you don't have 30 years of photos, therefore you're a man.
Okay.
I tell people I'm 51 years old. I don't have any. I found a box filled to the gills of pictures that my mom had brought over to my house, and guess what? I don't have any pictures of her pregnant. Now, remember, we're talking 1970s, 1980s.
Right.
You weren't just taking pictures on your smarty phone, right? There was a process to take pictures. And if y'all, follow me, maybe I'll show y'all some pictures of Raising Jason, because I have the picture when I was like 3 minutes old. They took a picture of us and put it on my birth certificate. I have the picture of Raising Jason. But that was but I have no pictures after that.
Right.
And then the next picture of me is like I'm 4.
Yeah.
And, right. Because you weren't just taking pictures just to waste pictures.
Right.
How many times did we, you're out here taking pictures of everybody and you're never going to use them.
Right.
Okay. So I'm not saying it's justification. All I'm saying is we were in a different era of, we were just in the moment.
True. We
And
lived in the moment. We weren't
we
trying to
lived in the
document.
moment. We did not
Yeah.
take pictures of everything so we can come back later on and maybe look at them when we're trying to transfer our phone to the next Samsung, whatever.
Right,
So
right.
it's not actually uncommon for you not to have a whole bunch of pictures.
Yeah.
So I'm not 100% certain that just because you don't have pictures of you in a certain period of time, like that is a slam dunk. Now, if you're going to say like, because I've even asked the question, like, why don't y'all get some neighbors? Candace, you have not been able to find classmates or the milkman or somebody at the supermarket. Like maybe get some other people to cooperate and say, you know what? Because again, some of the story sounds wackadoodle because everybody would have to be in on a little girl who's 8 years younger than her brother, giving her identity to her brother. Because you realize you're talking about a first grader and a sophomore in high school.
Right.
That's a big gap of time.
Unless the daughter died. Like that's kind of the new. I heard that was like the latest.
The dying daughters, the dying sister,
was dead, and then Jean Michel decided like, all right, I want to transition. Maybe in honor of his sister, took his sister's name.
But he would still be 8 years older than the child was.
Right.
So there would still be like everybody knows like, oh, the little first grader passed away. Oh, by the way, now the first grader is a sophomore in high school. There's gonna be a whole lot of people that bought into that.
No, I think that the theory is that he did it. If it's true, Jean Michel did it when he was 30. That's why. So I think that was the theory. Is that like it was years and years and years later, like no one was like really around to know them, and then he was like, well, maybe in honor of his sister he transited, and like it's kind of not our business. Like that's okay. Like if he wanted to transition, you said his name. The issue is like if they're lying about it, like in depth and all that stuff, and there's other stuff. I can see why that could be an issue, but like
I can see it too. It's just
that, like he wants to transition and name himself after his sister. Oh man, like why does that change my life? You know?
And that's the part I'm the other part that I'm getting like, even if Candace is 100% correct, not one solitary thing is going to change in my life or your life, legend,
right?
Or most people's lives, even unless you're French. Or you have like, unless you have like a stockpile, you have stock in bad wigs. Really, there's not much that's going to really change about your life, no matter how this shakes out.
Right.
So, and sad to say, a lot of the other things that these people have been doing, grooming and other kind of activities, that apparently the French already know about it. Because I've heard these things too. A lot of people saying, yeah, we already know about this. So even that's probably not going to change. If you find out the dude does look like a lady, because the dude is a lady, it still won't change anything. So I'm not 100% certain I'm getting where all that's going. But
right. It's like it turns into a little bit of a mean girl kind of thing at that stage.
Yeah, and shout out to Williams right here. Missing photos could also be because of fire, flood, strong gusts of wind, moving. Like when my mom moved to Georgia from Illinois, a lot of her stuff ended up in my basement. I don't know how, but a lot of the stuff is in my basement. And she doesn't have access to it anymore. She doesn't really want it. So I've been slowly but surely matriculating it to the trash. But there's tons of pictures that is very possible I could have easily just dumped that whole thing in the trash, and all those pictures for really 40 years of my life would be gone. And Raising Jason, y'all would not have access to Raising Jason. And that would have been just something simple.
Being a ghost for 30 whatever years.
Yeah. I've had a flood in my basement. Now that I think about it, I had a flood in my basement 3 years ago.
A podcaster. What the hell?
Right. How do you?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's a very good point. It's a very practical answer and a real life answer to the pre-digital age. Of like people didn't take that many pictures because it costs money and it's not even what they were thinking. It's culturally.
It wasn't right.
Like now we're taking pictures of our food. Like, do you think anyone did that? I was like, oh man, check out the French fries. Like, okay, what? Like,
what?
No one does that.
I'm eating them. Like,
yeah.
So I mean,
at official events, and like they didn't have. Someone else said they don't have yearbooks in France, or they didn't at the time.
Yeah. So to me, it just doesn't seem like that's a slam dunk. Now, nowadays, it would be difficult to say, well, legend to pop up and say, well, I'm Jay Witt. Well, sir, wait, hold on. We have evidence. To me, it would make it'd be much harder now 100%. To get away with that than if you say pre-1980s.
Yeah, yeah.
It just wasn't. It just wasn't the deal.
Right. I think they said that this is before this case. I just remember like reading about how Polaroid is the one that got us taking pictures everywhere.
Yeah.
Polaroids and disposable cameras, but Polaroid was like the one that was like, you take pictures right here. It's like, well, I just got, whoa, this is cool. Let's take pictures of funny moments or crazy moments, and people would start taking Polaroids, and that's when that idea of taking a picture in the moment took off. But before that, it was more of an art. Like nobody's like, hey, bro, let me paint a canvas of this right now, like this party.
Right.
It's like, what? No one's gonna sit there. So no one's gonna set up a tripod and like all that. No one did that back before.
Correct.
Polaroid was like, I got this thing right here. It's like, done. You know, it's like,
Yep.
oh, cool. We should take more pictures of the things we do. I think that's where it really took off.
I'm with you. Matter of fact, I even have film still on the roll, so I don't even know what it is.
No,
I don't even know where to take it. So, but my point is, I just don't know if that's necessarily the slam dunk that Candace, like, show us pictures from 30 years ago.
Right.
No,
Right.
because they don't really exist.
And you want me to
like
go
that.
I mean, what? Yeah.
To me, there's other things. Again, Candace, why don't you show me? Go find the milkman. Go find the mailman that has delivered mail in this neighborhood for 30 years, or find the classmates. Why don't you do that? Find find the plastic surgeon that fixed the rhinoplasty. Like, get me those kind of people.
Right.
Because I don't know if a photo or lack thereof is a slam dunk that she wants it to be.
Right. Yeah. I don't think it's enough.
I don't think they're commoners, but I don't think we're also keeping in mind that taking pictures is fairly, can we say that it's really a 2000 and beyond type of phenomenon?
I would say,
like taking pictures of everything that we do now, like really going crazy.
Yeah, that's an Instagram thing.
Yeah.
It's literally because of Instagram that people take pictures of the food and everything. But before that,
picture of food is crazy.
Yeah. People like, I mean, even in college, like, you know, someone walking around with a camera, it's like, oh, this guy is like taking pictures of everything. Damn, dude. Like, what do you, why? I was like, I want to document all the fun stuff we're doing. It's like, yeah, but we have brains. We just remember it. But people didn't do that before.
We didn't.
But they say the camcorder in like the 90s was kind of a big one when people,
I'll give you that.
To record like, oh, baby's first steps or whatever, that like soccer game, whatever. It's like, oh, we never did that. No one ever, as humans, we never did that before. So it's like, I think that's where it started to come out. But 70s and all, I doubt it. I mean,
even now, Polaroid still makes instant cameras now. You can still use you can still buy them. Even that, like, it was just a big giant piece of equipment. It was cumbersome. You didn't use it like that. Right. It was more of an event, like, oh, at this wedding, or oh, at this birthday party, or whatever. Not just again taking pictures of my food.
Right,
a Polaroid of food from the 70s is crazy.
Yeah. I think someone would be like probably sent to like a mental institution if they use their Polaroids to take pictures of their food. What are you taking pictures of? Like, it'd be so weird. I think that guy's a psycho. He's a psycho. Like, why is he using
that? Would be crazy.
Yeah, it'd be so. The culture was so different. But like, you would think, well, I guess no pictures of pregnancy. That would have been maybe different and very spur of the moment. Why would you do that? Like, why would you set up a photo shoot for your pregnancy? This isn't like, not like Kim K, you know? So it's like, that wasn't what was going on.
I have a coffee table book from a Black photographer in North Carolina, and it's called Pictures of Us? And it's just this photographer used to have a studio, and he would take these pictures of people, and you can clearly see there's no action photos, there's no spur of the moment. These people dressed up. They probably were in there for an hour, maybe even more, taking pictures of, and it's just a beautiful book of what life was like in the 1930s. 1930s. Say again?
Oh, 1800s, 1900s?
No, 1930s. Please forgive me, 1930s. And you can tell clearly, pictures were a big deal. Like, pictures were like, this is a big coming together, kind of like Olin Mills or going to Sears when you were a child. And again, just the final, I just don't think that that's the rim shot that you really think it is. That people,
it's not.
Yeah, so
it is weird. It's a piece of the puzzle, but she's gonna need more, because if it comes out that that's all the evidence she has, Candace will probably lose, like straight up. Because like, why would you believe that that's the reason? And anyone on the jury that's older than like year, I don't know what, 1995
Yeah.
would say, yeah, that we didn't take pictures all the time. That's kind of weird too. And then she would lose. So they've got to figure out, and that's part of their jury selection too. They got to figure out who they're going to pick.
Right.
If
Do
they pick
you
people
have
who
a
are,
box
like,
of pictures? Do you have
yeah,
any photo albums at home?
right, right, right,
Do you know what shake it like a Polaroid picture means? Do you
right.
understand that context?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Before Andre said it.
right, before Andre. No, man, that's gonna be wild. Is there any piece of evidence that you're like, man, this is going to be a bear for them to overcome? Is there any evidence that you currently know of, or
Yeah.
for either side?
If they show the video in 2017 of the brother who's supposed to be Brigitte hanging out with Brigitte before the conspiracy came out this big, she's gonna have a problem because they're gonna be like, "What were we? We weren't even trying to hide it." Now, some people came out in the comments and said something like, "No, this was an issue before because these fringe journalists said it before, so they like were trying to like keep it." I'm like, I don't know if they even cared at the time to hire some dude and be like, "Hey, man, listen, you are my brother, okay?"
Well,
All
okay.
right, I'm gonna get you in on this party for the presidential win, but you got to be my brother. He's like, all right, and then he doesn't even act like her brother. Like, why? Why would they do all that for some random fringe journalist that wasn't even amounting to anything? So I doubt that that's faked.
What if they're able to prove that that man at the 2017 is also the man that got paid in this most recent lawsuit?
That can cut really badly for Candace.
That would
'Cause
cut
they'll be like,
hard. Yeah.
this is the same dude that like the court like verified this is who he is. Unless Candace could be like, this is like an actor the whole time. And then that's even worse because it's like, oh, dang, these guys go deep, right? Like this conspiracy goes deep. But it's going to be way harder to show that because it's like, again, why would they hedge against a conspiracy theory that didn't even come out yet? And then like that's really nuts. Like they would never do that.
Yeah, because I mean, how long was and I've never dug into an Obama conspiracy, but like how long have they been saying that about Michelle Obama? Because people, nobody's seen a picture of Michelle Obama pregnant either.
I think they show pictures of her. No, oh, no,
I've never seen. Maybe so. Let me know in the chat if you have.
Why is that the only test? What if she didn't have kids? Like what? The,
right, but I'm just saying, like, I'm just saying, like, you didn't hear them say, well, hey, it never reached the point of them trying to defend it or anything of that nature. And some of the very similar arguments were being made. Like, again, nobody ever saw Michelle Obama pregnant, or whatever like that. I don't know what that's supposed to mean, but it is what it is. So all I'm saying is these people would have to have some pretty serious forethought. And we're talking about time travel, bending, multiversal incursions going on in order to know ahead of time. So like, hey, legend, pretend like you're my brother in this picture. Like, what are you talking about? What's a picture? And then 20 years later, we're like, hey, look at Jason and Legend. They were hanging out together. That's his brother. Like, man, that's crazy.
It'd be like someone being like, I'm from the future, Brigitte, listen, you're going to be found out. This whole crazy conspiracy you did, you're going to be found out. So here's a guy, just hire this guy, say he's your brother. What? But just trust me on this. Some lady's going to come out, Candace Owens, she's going to say all this stuff. Candace, what? Just trust me. And then that's it, gone. Like, and then they hire this. I doubt that they did that. That 2017 thing. Now, here's the other side of it that someone brought up. They were like, he was never in the family photos or any of the pictures. If he's really her brother, the way they acted was really weird in that 2017 video. They didn't seem like they even knew each other. I'm like, dang. So that'd be funny too, because they're like, my brother exists. Like, well, do you have any proof? It's like, yeah, that guy right there. He's the brother. Like this guy. It's like, yeah, he's my brother. Like, yeah, it looks like me. Like, okay. So I need to see the proof because I'm not like digging so deep to like know what everyone has been saying. But like everyone's saying that like the haters, the Macron haters are saying that's not the brother because he doesn't even act like the brother. And the Candace haters are saying this is ridiculous. Like her brother's right there. And I'm in the middle saying it is kind of ridiculous if they hired an actor before the conspiracy came out. And that's where I kind of lean towards the side of, ooh, Macron's might have it on that one piece. That's the biggest piece you can't refute because everyone knows he was there. So
that's facts. Okay. And maybe I'm just being overly gracious. because I do understand having dysfunctional family who will come to something, but yet not engage with the regular family, but they'll still come. I've got family who behave like that. I'm a family member that behaves like that sometimes myself. So I can say, like, I can imagine coming to if you had children, coming to your children's graduation and not speaking to you. I've seen it happen, and it's like, and it doesn't mean that you're not my brother, or it just means like we have some issues between us, and you just I came to your kid's graduation.
They could be siblings, but not friends.
Yeah.
They could be blood, but not friends. We don't know what happened over the years. We don't know.
Now, LS says this: what part, if any, will the defamation lawsuit being overturned on appeal in France? I don't know if you know much about this. Against the Macrons play into this civil case?
Zero.
Yeah.
Zero. So that is a completely different set of issues. The question here is, did Candace knowingly say something false, which is the actual malice? The fact that, I'll give you background about the French case for those of you who aren't caught up. The French case, they were found to have defamed Brigitte.
Right.
But they overturned it for one reason only. They didn't overturn it because, oh, that's true. What they said was true. They didn't overturn it. They overturned it because they said, look, these journalists actually legit believed this. Like, they actually believed it. It's very similar to our actual malice standard.
Yeah.
They're like, if Candace really believed it and she had good reason, then it's like, okay, you know what? Like, we have to let her off the hook by law. But that's what happened in France. It was overturned just because it was found that these journalists actually believed it in good faith. But that doesn't mean that what they said was true. Actually, the court case found that it wasn't true, because that's the defamation part. But
correct.
Will that bear on here? No, they have to prove everything from scratch here. So they may bring the same witnesses, they may bring the same evidence, they may bring that. They may try to bring it in. I don't know if a judge will be like, we're not doing that here. You can't. Like, sometimes you can use court cases here that are proven. Like, if there was a criminal case, for example, of somebody shot somebody and he was convicted beyond a reasonable doubt, then you go into the civil case and be like, dude, that guy shot me. It was already proven beyond a reasonable doubt. You can use that in the civil case a lot of times. But in this situation, I don't think that a judge will bring in the French court's original verdict or the overturning to bear on this case in front of the jury.
I agree. And then also, I'm thinking, if they were going to mention it or bring it up, they would have brought it up in the initial suit.
Yeah.
I would think, right? The complaint, the initial complaint, the 219 pager. Right. I don't remember it being in there. Like, by the way, the courts here, they didn't bring that up. So that's why I don't think I'm with you. I don't think they're going to bring it up.
Yeah, I don't know if they would, but I don't know if a judge would even allow it. So, let them be.
No, I got you.
Now, but yeah.
When do you think this will hit court? I mean, when do you think day one will be? If it does in fact go to court,
dude, like, we're talking
go to trial.
Here. I don't think there's going to be any evidence played out until probably next year. Like, we're looking at what we're in tomorrow's September
1st. Yeah.
Yeah. So, we've got September 11th is the motion to dismiss, and then they're going to do discovery for months. So probably won't happen. We're not going to see if a trial happens, which I really don't know what's going to happen with that. Like, I'm so on the fence about it. I'm like back and forth, because I'm like, yeah, they're going to take it to the mat. And then I'm like, that would be nuts, because somebody's going to lose bad if they do that. But that won't happen until at least next year, maybe the year after.
Wow.
It's already September here.
Yeah, it's already September here. It's already. Yeah, by the way, real quick in the chat, tell me where you are. Because Namaste Z is probably somewhere across the pond.
Right.
I'm going to go with you somewhere across the pond. If you're already saying that it's September already, that means it's Monday wherever you are. Therefore, you got to be on the other side of the world. Okay. Legend. If I really had a fake beard, I really have crusty feet, and I really snore, and I know that this is true. I know that this is true. I know I got a fake beard. I kill my barber every week because I don't want them to find out that I'm using a fake beard and it's such like that.
Yeah, yeah.
How crazy would it be for me to sue you if I knew that it's very possible somebody's going to know I got a fake beard, I have crusty feet, and I snore? Wouldn't that be kind of weird for me to do that if I knew that there's a high probability that they can find this out?
For normal people, yeah, but we're not dealing with normal people. We're dealing with politicians, and we're dealing with people that have a lot of money and a lot of power. So no, people sue all the time, even though they know they're wrong. They go on the offensive, and it's like you said way earlier, it's a chilling effect.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
so in the U.S., we have different states have anti-slap laws,
Correct.
and those anti-slap laws are so that you can't sue this way to chill someone telling somebody something in the media or now in the internet. But it doesn't. I don't take the complaint, the fact that they sued, as anything. Oh wow, we're getting. I don't take the fact that they sued as them being like, we're so right. Like it doesn't. I don't know. We'll see.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll accept that. I'll accept it. Yep. I knew it. I knew they were somewhere overseas. I knew it. Because to me, it would seem like I would not want to put my potential, revealing that I don't really have a beard in the crosshairs because it's very possible they can find out. To me, that would make sense.
Right.
Like I would not.
I agree.
But okay, I can accept that.
And I think that they're playing into that. I think in the media side, they're playing into that. It's like, we would never sue if if it was real. But like now you guys have to prove that. Like now you have to prove stuff. So it's like, why'd you do that? Like you should have just kept silent and be like, ha ha ha. Like laugh it off. Just like Obama did. Obama was like, here's my birth certificate. See ya. And he never addressed it again. So you guys are dumb. And moved on. And Obamas know how to play the hater game, right? Like they know they have haters. They will always have haters. So it's like they should have just like Macron should have called them and be like, hey, how'd you deal with this? Like, bro, I didn't even deal with it. I'm done. I'm out. See ya. And like let them talk, and then it will fizzle out.
Yeah.
But they highlighted it. So now it's like, oof. We'll see.
I agree. I mean, and I do see I see the similarities between Obama in this case. And again, now I do wonder, however, let me ask you this. Would this case be different in your mind if the French president was not the French president, but he was the governor of a state here in the United States? Do you think it would be different, be played out differently? Everything's the exact same, except he just doesn't live in France. He lives here, Whitakertopia. Okay, he's the governor of Whitakertopia.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Legally, no, it'd be the same because he's still a public figure. So he'd have to do exactly the same thing Macron's have to do. Candace would have the exact same responses that she has. Like if she can prove that it's true, she beats him. But optics wise, it's like, I'd be like, this guy's trying to raise his profile, right? Trying to do something. But when you're a president, like, what are you trying to raise your profile to be? What is he going to do next?
Right. That's why I wonder, like, the PR stunt angle. I'm like, what for, though? He's about to be out of office in 27. Like, why would you want this attention? It seemed like really negative attention. It doesn't seem like all attention is good attention, or all publicity is good?
No publicity is bad publicity. I think.
Right. To me, it doesn't seem like this would be the way to go about it.
Right.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know why, if that's the case.
I don't know why. The weird thing is, according to Candace, he told Trump to call her and tell her to cool it. So that's another piece of the puzzle. It's like, maybe it's just really bothering him.
It's possible. Okay.
Really
Thank you for bringing that up. Do you think that he really did call? I want you to think about that for a second. I want to shout out. Hey, by the way, this person said, what about send a picture of your younger brother with shoe polish on his chin to prove that your beard is real? Don't say anything, but my brother blacks out his beard. He's older than me. His beard is whiter than mine. It is blacker than pitch. And, shout out to James. I'm calling my brother out because stop it. He has stock in Beijing. I'm just telling you that. Just for Men, he's got a 401k program with Just for Men. Shout out to my brother.
Dude, he just called you out by name. So
Yeah, I'm calling James out. James,
Bro, I
James
got white in the
knows.
beard. People like the white in the beard. This is like hard to
I'm
get.
saying,
Yeah, I know people who dye it just to do the salt and pepper beard.
man, I said I was going to just go ahead and dye mine completely white, but no.
Oh, that'd be wild.
Okay.
Imagine that, like your beard is glowing.
You're
People, like,
right.
driving by, like, what was that? Like, this beard, like, glowing, like shiny.
There we go. All right. So what do you think? Do you think Trump, realistically, do you think Trump really did call?
I never thought to question it. I think it'd be wild if she made that up, but she's kind of wild sometimes. I feel like, let me think. Why would she make it up?
Okay. Let me play, because I believe he did call her.
Yeah.
Because if he did not call her and she was saying that he called her, Trump would be on Truth Social in a nanosecond saying that she was lying. He'd be on X saying she lied.
I didn't
Right,
know.
all caps, right?
even
So
know this
because he didn't do that, I do believe that he called.
That's a good
But
point.
I think he called kind of like in a friendly manner, like,
Yeah.
you know, like if I called you and say, "Hey, legend, you know, you need to move those axes from behind you. They don't look good. It's not a good image." And I just kind of rap with you a little bit about it, not to be like official,
Right.
but just kind of like, you know, friend to friend, you know, podcaster to podcaster, like, hey, like fix that.
Yeah.
And then you go online and say, hey, you know, the Jay Witt podcast called me and said this, that, and the other. But I did call like in good faith. I think it was like in good faith.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's my opinion. I do think he did call her. My original video, I was
agree.
back and forth, but when I did a video about it, but now I do believe he did call her. Okay, that's it.
I don't know why she would lie about it. I agree. Because like that'd be weird to lie about that. Unless like she's trying to cover up why she took long to release it, but she could have just said we were doing the research. I mean, there's like a million reasons she could have said, why would you make up the Trump story? I think he called her. And that's okay. But like now it makes me wonder, why did what's his name be like, hey bro, Trump, let me ask you a favor.
Well, okay.
You know, it's kind of nuts.
Well, let's just say that Emmanuel Macron married a woman. Again, all the weirdness about their ages and all that kind of stuff, we're gonna put that on the side.
Yeah.
And they're like, look, man, she has a very bad skin issue. That's why she wears a wig. Yes, it's a hard wig. It doesn't look good on her all the time. Sometimes I say, babe, get a different wig or whatever like that. We really, you know, it's kind of foul. And don't you know her? Could you just call her real quick and just tell her to kind of chill out a little bit, and, you know, just friend to friend, you know, nothing official. Just like, hey, could you tell her to just chill out? I mean, my wife really doesn't like it. Look at her. Here she is right here.
Yeah, that could be it.
And to me, I feel like it was probably just like hey, I know this guy. He lives in Atlanta. Let me call him and see if he'll do me a favor.
Right. Right.
That's what so to me, again, I'm not saying that they're right or wrong. I just don't think that would be necessarily the worst thing that, if you have this relationship with this person. It just so happens that the guy I know in LA happens to be the president of the multiverse. And sure, he can call in a favor, but I still know legend.
Right, exactly. And I think that's what I'm saying is that I think it just legit bothered him and bothered her. It's kind of like a Will Smith situation, right? Keep my wife's name out your mouth. Like it could have been, that's basically the civil way of shouting that out. Like, hey, Candace, I'm telling Trump to tell you my message. Keep my wife's name out your mouth. But like, yeah, we'll see. Like, we'll see if the she didn't do it. She didn't listen. So
well, so let's use the Will Smith, Chris Rock dust up.
Right.
That behavior. Now, Will Smith's life has not been the same since then.
Correct.
Now, granted, there were a lot of things going on bad in his life, and we just didn't know about it. That slap exacerbated all the stuff with him and Jada, their weird relationship, all that kind of stuff like that. And now, I mean, all you had to do was just be mature and just ignore it, and just keep it moving.
Right.
Yeah, she does look like G.I. Jane. Yeah, you're right. Okay, I mean, we could have just kept it laughing.
Comedian, he attacks everybody. Yeah.
Right. And that, to me, so, you know, to use that as a jump off point or a transition, because Will Smith behaved in that manner,
it
Look what
unraveled
happened.
a lot. Right.
It unraveled a lot. There was a lot of threads getting pulled out after
Right.
that. And it didn't have to be like that.
And that's what I'm saying maybe they're doing here, because they're slapping Candace when it could
Mm.
have just ignore it. Just move on. She's a commentator. She's on fringe stuff. She picks up like weird, crazy news stuff. You know, it bothers you, yeah, but you're never gonna stop. Like, okay, there's gonna be 1,000 people now talking about it, right? The Streisand effect. Like now
Yeah.
we're all talking about it. Like I didn't know anything about this. They filed a lawsuit. I was like, what? Like how? And then now I'm looking into it. So now I'm like, oh my gosh, there's some weird stuff around this. But yeah, it brought up attention. It could bring up a lot of problems too for them. So I think all in all, they maybe should have not filed the lawsuit. But anyway,
I agree. I'm with you right there. But you know what? We got a righteous perspective. And you know what? He dropped 5 memberships, y'all.
All
So if you
right.
did get a membership, shout out to Wise. Thank you, brother. Great content creator. If the mods can please make sure that Wise's content is in the chat, that would be fantastic. I got a question for you, though, as well. These questions are coming fast and furious.
Yeah.
You're bringing out the questions here. Could you comment on this comment? You have to be alive to be on the electoral roll in France. Jean-Michel Trogneux was on that roll in 2022. You cannot fake being alive if you do not exist.
We're getting into some stuff here.
Yeah, we get into some weeds.
Because we had that problem in the U.S., right? We had people saying that a lot of dead people were voting.
Correct.
And how could this dead person vote? And the way it happens is, like, believe it or not, the government doesn't know you died until someone tells them.
Correct.
Like, I've had situations where we didn't know a person was dead, and like until their family member told the government, and then the government's like, "Are you sure?" It's like, "Let me see." Then they check it. Oh yeah, dude, this is the guy. Sign a death certificate. But before that, no one knows. We're used to it being more newsworthy because if you die in a hospital, the doctors report it right away.
Right.
If
Absolutely.
you die at home, how we know? I mean, like, we won't know. And then we know about celebrities who die in their homes, but we don't know about like the neighbors. Like, you guys don't realize how many people live a quiet life and no one knows really who they are. Like, and that's the sad thing about society being weird now. But
Yes.
like, people don't know the neighbors sometimes. Like, I'll tell you the truth. If my neighbor had something and the cops come, like, what's their name? We need to help them. I'm like, I don't know. Like, they're like, well, we're sending like emergency services. Do you know? I was like, I don't even know. I don't even know who the neighbor is.
Wow.
And if they're like, oh yeah, you know, he or she passed away, I'd be like, oh, I don't know who that is. Like, I don't even know who to tell. I don't even know if they have kids. I don't know. They're like older. I don't know. So like, we wouldn't know. And so, yeah, how could he be registered to vote? Someone could have voted on his behalf, whatever. This is what Candace's camp would probably say. Now, on the flip side, it's like, but don't they have like voter ID and all that stuff?
Facts.
I don't know. I don't know if they have that in France. We don't have that in California. They're not allowed to ask my ID. They're not allowed to ask for my ID when I vote. And that's coming from an area where things were like, you know, coming from an era of like some messed up policies that people were doing. But now on the flip side of it, it's like, yeah, I could have voted as Jean Michel. If I walked up, I'm like, I'm Jean Michel, what's up? They're like, oh, it's cool, man, we'll have you on the registry because he's here every year. Like, you know, but he may have passed away. I don't know how they do it in France. So I don't know how they validate.
Yikes.
Yeah.
That's a good question. I don't know.
Yeah, I have no
I do know my neighbors. I try to know my neighbors, but I'm that guy.
Yeah, I know I'm like, hi, bye. And like, you know, we help each other out, but like, I don't even know their names. Like,
yeah, I like to know. No, that's an interesting thought. And I don't know how they do it in France. I do wish we would fix that here in the States, because I do think there's definitely some gaps when you say, hey, I can just walk up and say, hey, I'm the J-Wit podcast, I want to vote. And then you jump up and say, hey, I'm the J-Wit podcast, I want to vote. That's crazy.
Right.
But no, that's a good catch. Oh,
yeah.
Excellent question. Let me see this real quick. Indeed, he was slapped, and it would be reasonable to consider if Macron has Stockholm syndrome by remaining loyal to his abuser. It's difficult. Yeah. No, that was I just think the similarities, and we see this in pop culture all the time. Again, we've been talking about the Obamas. We talked a little bit about other cases, and of course, Chris Rock and Will Smith. A lot of things happen, and maybe sometimes you need to let the water roll off your back. Because imagine if Will Smith had just ignored that. I'm not saying it would have fixed this.
I'll say this. Yeah, I'll say this. How hard would it be to ignore that? It would be so hard. It's hard. Like, someone makes you mad in that moment, and you have like Will Smith is at a level of he has the power to tell this guy, shut your mouth. That's kind of a big deal, like Will Smith saying that to someone. But then he took it too far. It's like
Right.
he's
But
still
even in that, I don't know, man. I just don't think, because I actually like Will Smith. I think he was a good actor in a lot of his stuff. There's definitely been some stumbles, but he has a pretty nice resume. I think even in that, man, just like let it roll. Like you're a comedian. I mean, you've done funny things. Chris Rock is a comedian, and just let it slide. Just let it slide. Because clearly we remember nothing else from that night except him slapping that man.
Yeah, and Will even won that night.
He did. Yep.
We don't remember that. Like it overshadowed. It sucks. Like it did. It's like we call it like post slap. His post slap career, his pre slap career. I don't know if you saw his latest song. He like leans into it.
Yeah, but it's bad. Dude, you're my age. Like, let it go, man. You should be producing and sitting back resting on your laurels or doing something else.
Right.
I'm looking at you, Ice Cube. But you should be doing something else. You should not be trying to reinvigorate your rap career at 50 plus years old. Let it go.
Yeah. I mean, we're still waiting on the Chronic 2, right? So hopefully Dre will drop that soon.
We're gonna actually pass. I don't think it's gonna happen.
What was it? What was he gonna release? I forgot. We're waiting on the next Dre album. Isn't that true? Still waiting.
He's got some other issues going on too, so I don't know.
He's a billionaire. He's a billionaire. He doesn't have to do anything.
Right. See, just go and chill, man.
Yeah.
Wait. I never heard anything about the slap being a Russian AI conspiracy. I don't know. That's a wild take. Look at this guy right here. Shout out to A Righteous Perspective, man. Thank you so much for the $50 super. What does he say here? I just hopped on. What are the odds of Candace winning this lawsuit? Now, we did talk about this earlier, but now let's put it in the context of odds. Legend, hold on. I do think that the Macrons might have been better off letting it run its course. Candace is like a hound that's locked onto a scent and won't let go. Right. Give me some, I don't know, what do you like? Baseball? Do you like gambling? Like, give me some odds. What are your odds?
I like esports the most.
Okay, there you go. No problem, man.
Odds. Okay, so if you take it like a competitive game, what you've got is the Macrons launched first. So now the onus is on them to prove that what she said is not true. It's going to be tough, but they could probably hit that mark. But what they have to prove next is the actual malice, like we talked about. And I think their odds of that are going to be a little lower. But if they can convince a jury, and they get a jury that's like not polarized either way, on the like to an outsider, this is kind of nuts. You're saying that this lady is like a man, and like, why do you care? Like, yeah, you have actual malice, Candace. You have actual malice. So they might do that. Then Candace can come in and hit them with, here's the truth. If she can't prove that, then she'll say, this is why it wasn't actual malice. It's because I tried to figure it out, and they wouldn't let me know the truth. And that's where it's going to be. Like, that's where the fight's going to be. It's like, what are the odds? I don't know. I'm not good with odds. If I was, I would probably be in a bigger studio.
I totally get it.
I don't live too far from Vegas. I'd be in a bigger studio.
So I'm going to go with the plus and the minus system. Plus being the underdog, minus being the contender. I'm going to give the Macrons a minus 200, and I'm giving Candace a plus 150. Wow. I think the Macrons, in my mind, the fact that they gave her this information that she parsed apart and said she didn't believe this, and the Chinese facial recognition said this, that, and the third,
right,
doesn't change the fact that they gave her the evidence for her to know that what she was saying was problematic. If nothing else, she should at least pump the brakes and start saying, well, here's the evidence that they gave me. You make the decision. She was making some pretty definitive statements like, Legend is sitting here on the screen with a plum colored jacket on. There's emphatic statements of fact.
Right.
To me, I think and again, I could be wrong with the malice, but I feel like they gave her enough information for her to say, okay, let me tamper this down a little bit. But she didn't. And that's where, in my mind, why she's in trouble.
I think I have to agree with that. I think that's true, because that's where they win, right? If they say, look, we gave her, how much do you want? We gave her a chunk of stuff. She should have just tempered it back and said, look, okay, well, here's what they say. my opinion is different, but you decide. My opinion is the key. She said it as fact, like you said, and she said, I'm willing to bet my whole career on it.
Whole career. I don't know how you fix that. They might say, well, you want your whole career? Well, guess what? Or they might play the tape of her saying, hey, I'll pay your legal fees. They might be like, well, yeah, you're gonna pay these legal fees.
Yeah.
She was grandstanding. And again, somebody sent me the actual book, Xavier Pritchard's book.
Yeah.
And he's pretty clear that this is possibly not really maybe. He's not in saying this is emphatic truth or anything of that nature, but rather this is just some, like Candace likes to say, it's plausible. Is it possible? Candace was saying that this is true.
Right. She's almost saying the opposite. It's impossible that the other thing is true. That she's wrong. She's saying it's impossible and wrong. That's like, because all she had to do is just add that allegedly. I mean, you see
the infamous allegedly. Yeah, that's all you had to do.
Allegedly. It's like, oh man, we can't get him now. But yeah, no, you're right. Like, you're convincing me that she's going to be in trouble at that point.
Again, and this is just my observation. Again, I'm a pre-K law student. I know nothing, right? I've just watched a lot of Suits and a little bit of Boston Legal. So I remember this. But to me, it just seemed like, because that's why I asked you the question, if I give you evidence, are you as the defendant able to just parse through and say, I don't like this. This is not good evidence. Do you get to do that? Because that's what it seemed like she did.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Like if you gave me evidence that's clearly doctored, I mean, she's going to have to show that she actually, why it was not legit. And then it's up to the jury to buy it. But the easiest way to do it is be like, look, they gave me this evidence. I don't agree with it because ABC, you decide. I don't agree with it is different than it's all fake. Like you can't just say everything they send me is fake, no matter what they send me, and la 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 la. I don't want to hear it. Like you can't do that. So that's where I'm conflicted. I feel like if I send you evidence, and again, you might not like it, but you can't say he didn't send me any evidence, or I spend multiple episodes trying to parse apart every little piece of evidence so I can continue to do what I'm doing. I don't know. That just I just want to know if that's the right way to go about it. Because I'm like, I'll just take it apart and slice it apart here. And then we get to court, I can say, well, I believed it was true because I sliced it apart. And I used some Chinese facial recognition software, or I did this, that, and the other. And I said, it just seemed like it's problematic for her to try to slice apart and analyze and dissect, rather, that's the word I'm looking for, dissect the evidence. And she kind of played it like it was just a text message when actually it was those. Yeah.
And that's my only pushback.
Yeah, I hear you. Because like, it's going to be more of, was she reckless? Did she have reckless disregard for the truth? And it's going to come down to what the jury believes. Like it's a sales pitch. Like they literally have to pitch the jury and be like, this is why you should believe me. Like, this is why you should believe Candace actually wasn't reckless. She parsed everything out and she doesn't believe him. And if they gave her more, then that's it,
So you have the evidence that's given to you. And by the way, thank you again, Wise, for the very kind super. Thank you again, brother. Grace and peace to you, my friend. So if I have the evidence that, again, that Legend is a legend on, I got your whole discography. He's a legend out here. He really be shredding it up. That evidence is what it is. Now, I can interpret and say, man, I still think that this is phony. I think this is AI. I think somebody else is playing for him, whatever. But I can't deny that the evidence really exists.
Right.
And even if I don't like it, like, well, sure, he sent me this, but I think it's somebody else playing for him. Or sure, he sent us this video, but I'm sure that's not him in the video. That still doesn't, I'm really troubled by that, because to me, that's why I think she's going to get hit with malice, because the evidence was there and she just said, yeah, I got this. Because she clearly, most of the pictures that we've seen, we got them from Candace. Right. Even though they're the exact same pictures that are in the Macron case. Everybody saw them from Candace. Right. And you're like, well, that's the evidence. You had it, and you just decided that it wasn't sufficient for you. Right. But here, think of it this way. Think of if you said that I'm not a real lawyer, and I was like, all right, here, Jason, here's my bar card.
Like,
He made it up.
it's faked. Like, well,
You're right.
did you call the California bar themselves to legitimize it? This goes back to what you were saying, which is, where are the neighbors? Did she try with the neighbors? Did she try with like schoolmates? Did she try? Did she try? And that's where the argument would happen. Another piece of the puzzle on the Macron side, another plus, right? Where they'd be like, she didn't even try. But on the flip side, she'll be like, I did try. I asked people. These other journalists try. And you know what? The journalists who tried too hard, they got killed. I don't know how they died, but they're dead now. So I don't want to try too much because there's something going on here. So she could potentially bring that up. Now, I don't know if that's going to be able to come in front of the jury, because the judge will be like, how do you know that that was related?
Yeah.
But she might say, it doesn't have to be related. It has to be that I believed it was related, and that's why I don't have malice. I was not reckless. I was trying. It's like, it gets in the weeds.
It's in the weeds.
Yeah, the judge will have to. But I'll tell you something. In my experience, if you get too much in the weeds, you lose. You lose. And so the Macron's like, that could be to the Macron side too. If they get too much in the weeds, well, you know, this person died because of this, and like everything is like, you have to have an explanation for everything. It's like, a little too much. Same with Candace. So usually the big picture, the person that has the better big picture story that's easy to digest will win. That's how like you convince people in a trial.
So, and I'm going to shout out to Wise again from a righteous perspective for the very kind $10 super. I want to use this to springboard into my comment. He says this: I want to give Candace the benefit of the doubt. She's been on point up to this point. The deep dive she did on Kamala was phenomenal. Not a problem. However, which story in my mind is easier to understand, easier to digest? You know, because, you know, looking at this, the different layers and levels, and I've made the joke. I said, the judge is not going to watch that 8.5-hour series.
Right.
He's not going to watch it. The jury is not going to read Prashad's book. They're going to more than likely get the evidence and the evidence that's going to be given to them is going to probably be the most succinct, to the point, easier to digest. That means they're probably not going to hear the dying sister theory. They're probably not going to hear some of these other theories that just seem a little bit out there, because they are going to be, as you're saying, out in the weeds. And we need to stay on the main street. We don't need to be out here in the weeds, because that's where you get lost. So in my mind, which one is easier to understand? This, again, she's just not a very easy on the eyes woman with maybe a skin condition that she wears a really bad wig, or dude looks like a lady. Which one is more reasonable to understand?
I think that, let me try to find the complaint real quick.
Oh, the Macron's complaint?
Yeah, because I think that...
I actually thought I had that. I didn't queue it up. You got it? And you can share your screen.
Oh, no, it's all right, because I have the chat up, and I don't want people to see their own chat. I'm just kidding.
Okay, no problem.
So, okay, let's see. Just like, for example, count 13 is about that she's saying, like, okay, when she said today is Jean-Michel Trogneau's birthday, in other words, happy birthday, Brigitte Macron, the First Lady Brigitte Macron. Okay, like, the Macrons brought into the lawsuit this theory that Brigitte was Jean-Michel who assumed the identity of Brigitte. So I think that does kind of put it at issue and start to bring it in, unless they settle it or they dismiss those charges. Or those,
help me out. What do you mean? So you
said that it's going to be in the weeds if they start talking about like this theory that like Jean-Michel took Brigitte's identity and that whole thing, but it's not in the weeds anymore because the Macron said that was an untrue statement. So now Candace has license to talk about why she believes it's a true statement. You see what I'm saying? I'm on page like what was I? I was on page like 163, for example.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Let me jump down here. 163. All right. Good gracious. Why is this thing so long, man?
Yeah, man, this thing's a book.
This thing is crazy, man. All right, you said 163. All right.
Bottom of 163, you say like this is like just a random one where they're saying here's a false statement. Like if you look at A.
Okay, there we go. Okay, so let me zoom in a little bit so everybody can see it too. There we go. All right, so you're saying here, today is Jean-Michel Trogneau's birthday. In other words, happy birthday, Brigitte Macron.
Right. And if you scroll down, go to F,
Okay, down to F.
If it's really you, Brigitte Macron, and you didn't take on the identity of your sister, if it's really you, these statements make the lawsuit about the stolen identity. So Candace is now free to go into that because she's gonna be like, well, they said that that's not true, and here's how I'm gonna prove to you that it is true or that I
Okay.
believed it was true. So you see what I'm saying? They put that at issue. So no, it's not considered part of the weeds. It is out there now. It is part of the actual main stage. But
Okay.
it will
I can dig
sound
it.
crazy. That's the thing. Will Candace's theories sound really crazy? At first, they might. But will she be able to show them that the jury that it's not that crazy? I don't know. We'll see.
I can rock with that. I can dig that. And matter of fact, let me grab this real quick and drop it in the chat just in case y'all want to follow along or you want to see this document. There you go, everybody. Okay. I can dig that. That makes sense.
Yeah.
But again, I think I'm wondering how much of this is going to become uber confusing. Again, even though it makes sense to me now as you're explaining it, but I might, as a juror, might be like, man, I'm still, what in the world? And what are you talking about? Because again, it's those 12 plus the 4 alternates that are really going to make the difference, and the judge that are really going to, really going through this information. I don't know. I still think this might be some weed activity here. I understand what you're saying.
To a normal person, yes. Legally, this is going to be fair game. But once you start getting into, and then this happened, and then this happened, and then this happened, like you're telling the story, they'd be like, girl, where the hell did you get this idea? This is a crazy story. You want to write a book about it? Like
this story is bananas.
And I think that's where, some of the Macron strategy is going to be. It's like, they're just going to let her talk and talk and talk. Like, she's nuts. So,
I mean, truly, I mean, she is definitely going to be her number one witness against, she's going to be the the prosecution's number one witness because she just keeps talking.
I don't know. Well, I don't know. I don't know if it's because it's not criminal. Yeah, she doesn't have a right to not testify. She's going to have to testify.
Well, I meant like the stuff she's been saying. I didn't mean literally on the stand, but yes.
I think she might bring in every source that she had. Look at this document right here. Look at this guy right here. This guy said ABC about this document. This software says this. Like, she's going to bring in, I never said this stuff. I'm telling you what other people have said, and that's why I believed it. And I asked them questions, and they wouldn't want to answer. So why wouldn't they want to answer? And it's like, so she's got a point where she's going to say, it's going to come to a point where she's going to be like, it's going to be like, you ever been to Costco?
Yeah, I know what it is.
Costco, I just got a Costco membership. Like,
gotcha. Okay.
I'm like, I'm getting, I guess I'm getting old. I don't know what that, whatever. Like, once you get the Costco membership, it's like, all right, you're in this club of like,
shout out to the Costco members.
So she, when you go out of Costco, they check your receipt, right?
Yes.
So Candace is going to be like, I just asked them to check the receipt. Like, I'm not giving you no receipt. It's like, I just need to make sure. I know you're saying I bought this. It's like, I know you're saying you bought this, but there's someone out there that said you didn't buy this. You just show me the receipt. No. All right. Well, now like my head is like going like, whoa, why is this person not showing the receipt? And it's gonna be like, I don't have to show you nothing. It's like, I know you don't have to show me anything, but this guy over here said you stole this stuff. I just got to make sure like the whole receipt. At least let me like see parts of it. No. So now she's gonna be like, well, why else would I believe that this is false? What they're telling me. They're telling me all this stuff, like I just wanted to see the receipts. So that's really the gist of Candace's defense. That's what it's going to be. The most likely way to do it.
I'm going to give you that. Yeah, I'll give you that. The only thing is, this is the only issue.
Yeah.
Using your Costco, Sam's Club, BJ's, Warehouse Club, where they check your receipt.
Right.
Would you let me check your receipt if I was just a Joe saying, hey, legend, I see you pushing your cart out. I think you stole the stuff that's in there. I don't work for Costco,
right,
BJ's, or Sam's Club. I'm just a dude. And I walk up to you and say, let me see your receipt. Would you let me see your receipt?
Yeah, I'd say, who the hell are you?
But I'm saying
Right.
it doesn't matter. I want to know: did you steal this gallon of mustard
Right.
and
Exactly.
this,
Right. I would never want to
87 pack of
right.
avocados?
Yeah, you're a random. Why would I show you my receipt?
To me, that's what I feel like Candace is in that regard. Like, now again, I'm not saying that they shouldn't have just quashed it and ignored her or sent the 23andMe. We could have been done with this. Sure.
Right.
However, she's kind of like just a random.
I agree with that. But now that they filed the lawsuit, they're saying, I'm going to show you the receipt. Okay, well, let's see it.
Okay.
And then if they don't show it in the trial, then they're going to be like, well, we have a few pictures and here's a video. That guy's her brother. Where's her brother? You want to bring him to court? Nah, he's tired. See what I'm saying? Like, if they produce the brother, if they produce all this stuff, Candace is in trouble. But if they stick with what is in their complaint, which is that December retraction letter, and they stick with a couple photos, whatever, Candace can be like, it's not enough, man. This is legit. Like, when they bring the lawsuit, they're saying we're gonna prove to you that we have the receipt, as opposed to if they just, you know what I'm saying? Before, there was no onus on them to prove anything. But when you bring the lawsuit, you're telling the world, I'm about to prove all the stuff in this thing. And one of the things is you're saying, I'm going to prove all these statements she said are not true. Like, oh, dang, really? Let's see it. Now we get to watch. So it's like entertainment for everyone, I don't know.
Okay.
Why they did that.
Okay. Okay. Shout out to Wise with the $5 super. He asked this question. And we talked about this earlier, but let's talk about it again. Yeah. Will this case head to trial, or is it confidential settlement on the horizon? I don't think we talked about what is the likelihood of either of these. So what do you think, Legend?
So I think, okay, if it heads, the reasons I think it would head to trial is Candace openly said that. And also she wants their blood, like almost literally, right? On the
literally and figuratively. Yeah.
Yeah. On the flip side, the Macrons would want to take it to trial because it doesn't cost them anything. They're just living the rest of their lives. They don't care. They're not sweating at night. They don't care. Because if they lose, nothing happens. Like, right? They just filed this lawsuit and say, oh, whatever. They're back in where this square one. If Candace loses, she's losing a lot more than sleep, right?
For sure.
What is a confidential settlement on the horizon? I don't know if it's on the horizon, because any settlement, people will be like, like who's settling to who? Now, if it's confidential,
who's settling? Right.
Yeah, it could be confidential, and nobody talks again. Maybe that's the ultimate goal, where they tell, listen, we're going to drag you out in this lawsuit for the next $5 million. And even if we lose, you're out. Let's not even be $5 million.
It's a lot of t-shirts.
It's like hundreds of thousands. Do you want to spend this, or do you want to just shut up about this and we just settle it? You pay us nothing, we pay you nothing, and just shut your mouth. Now, Candace is a bit fiery. She's like, no, I'm going forward. They're like, okay. And they start fighting her. And then later, when they see the discovery and all the evidence, her lawyers might be like, Candace, we got to have a talk here. We're looking at the paperwork here. We're looking at the photos here. These guys produced ABC stuff we didn't know. We're in trouble. Do you really want to fight this? And it's ultimately Candace's decision. Her lawyers can't decide for her.
Right.
He's going to be the one. So if she's like, I said I'm betting my whole career on this, I'm going forward, she might. Or they might tell her, listen, a good lawyer would be like, listen, you want to live to fight another day? Let's settle it. Get out of this. If you want to die on this hill, or maybe live on this hill, then we'll go to the mat. We'll fight it all the way.
Got it. So, all right. No, I think this is fascinating. And
yeah,
I think this is wild. All right. I'm trying to see if there's any others. But
throw questions, guys. I'm a lawyer.
Yeah,
I'm asking the questions. This is nuts.
If you don't mind, put of course capital Q or the word question, or just drop some green hearts, and if you have a question that Legend has not already answered. And by the way, we have Legend, the heavy metal lawyer, answering questions about this case, giving us a better understanding of it. So shout out to him. Thank you to the 126 people that are in the live chat. Thank you so much for being a part of the best live chat on the internet. Let's go. All right. Candace has 60,000 people in her chat at any given time. Looks like she'll have the support she needs. Okay.
Yeah, moral
Yeah,
support maybe, but
yeah,
legally that won't. That would be tough. I don't think it'll play in.
yeah. I don't know if that.
I don't know where she's gonna go with that. Like how now if she can monetize that in a what's it called? GoFundMe or something like that, maybe that'll help her.
But even in that, like, I think the expenditure of funds cannot be overlooked. Like, sure, you might have a fantastic, the Legend Mafia, the League of Legend is crazy, right?
Yeah.
You got 100,000 people in your live chat. Okay, they're loving you and supporting you, but that's still funds that you're going to have to put out. And you're going to be answering these questions, and lawyer sitting there talking with your lawyer for hour upon hour. That's going to be a drain over time. Say again.
She's gonna be in depositions. They're gonna sit for hours with her in a room with a camera, and the Macron lawyers are gonna be like, blah blah blah. They're just gonna go nuts, and there's no judge in there, so like they're gonna go crazy. They're gonna say whatever. They're gonna grill her for hours or whatever. And whether or not it's admissible, they're just gonna, harass her. Maybe they won't. I don't know. But it's just annoying to be in a deposition for hours when you're not a lawyer. Lawyers like, yeah, I'm making money. This is great. Like,
I'm making bread, right?
Yeah, this is my job. Like I'm at work, but she's not at work. She doesn't get paid for that. She's losing money in her deposition because she's paying her lawyers. So that's annoying,
And let's keep in mind, like she's a mom with 4 kids under 5.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of other things I'm sure she would rather be doing.
Right.
I don't know. The Macrons can drag her into some deep waters and maybe they can do deposition over Zoom or online, but still, like who wants to do that?
But on the flip side, she can depose them. Now she's going to get a stab at the president of a NATO country and his wife. They're going to put her on the thing, like right away on deposition, under oath. Were you ever a man? No. Now it's locked in, right?
That's locked in.
Did you take your brother's, like, whatever? No. Everything, like, they're going to deny everything hardcore, right? And it's going to be locked in. So then she's going to try to bring in something else to say that they lied about this, so they lied about that, and they lied about everything else, maybe. I don't know. So the game is a little higher stakes because you've got the president of France who's subjecting himself to this lawsuit. That's why usually you wouldn't see something like that. You wouldn't see a head of a state coming after someone privately like that as a private citizen. That doesn't make sense. Like you're just above that,
Yeah.
The hate is hate, and that's it.
So if they had called you and said, Legend, what should we do?
Who, the Macrons?
The Macrons. If they had called you and said, just leave it alone.
Leave it alone.
You still would have sent them a bill though, right?
Just laugh and move on. Let's take a playbook from Obama, right?
Right.
We already, that's been dismissed. Like just you have the spotlight. Candace has a small spotlight. They gave her a bigger spotlight because they're like, let's bring her into our stage. Yeah. But Candace has a small spotlight. They have the world stage. They could just be like, oh, that was already proven wrong. Anyways, next question, please.
Yeah.
Just chill. That's the end of it.
I'm with you. I just don't know why did they not do that?
I that's what I'm saying. Something is up. Maybe she just got under their skin. It really bothered them for the reasons you said, which is like, dude, it's his wife. Like, bro, don't talk about my wife like that. It's really hurting her. And you know what? I'm going to stand up for my wife. Could be that.
Yeah, I got you. I know a righteous perspective blessing us with that $10 super sticker. Thank you so much, friend. I hate that they don't show me what the sticker is, though.
Oh, I saw the sticker.
Oh, you do? Okay, I'm not on the...
Going around like an avocado or a pear? What is that? It's a pear.
It's a pear, I'm sure. You can't see it unless... I got to literally log back into YouTube and actually see it.
Go back on I have the chat.
I go back into...
It's on the screen below.
Yeah, it doesn't show for me. I don't know why it does that, but that's YouTube. But man, thank you so much, Wise. I appreciate you, man, blessing us. And such. Any other questions? If you have a question, put a Q or a heart, green heart in this. I can see. Oh, here's one right here. Will all the evidence in the claim that was filed be admissible as evidence? Oh, okay. Thank you, Megan. Great question.
Great question. So not necessarily. So that's why the judges always say a complaint is not evidence. All this stuff in the complaint is not evidence. So who decides what's evidence? Well, the evidence code rules what's evidence. Mm-hmm. And the judge is the one who decides. So everyone's going to start to say, both sides are going to be like, Judge, I want to bring in, so-and-so. And all right, why? What's the relevance of so-and-so? What are they going to say? They're going to basically talk about these things. All right, cool. I'm letting him in. Someone's going to say, I want to bring in, evidence of, or I want to bring in another witness. Well, what's that witness going to say? He's going to say that, the Macrons had like a really horrible dog. Yeah, that's not relevant. I don't want that in. Judge will say, no, that person's excluded, right? And like slowly and surely, they're going to be whittling down what's going to be able to come in front of a jury based on the evidence code and case law that kind of explains evidence code. That's how it's going to go down. The judge is the gatekeeper of evidence. The judge's job is to judge the law, but not the facts. Except in a motion to dismiss, for example, or a motion for directed verdict where the judge has to see that no jury would ever find one way or the other. That's the only time the judge would kind of step in. But besides that, the judge decides which evidence. So yeah, the stuff in the complaint, let's say some of the photos they want to bring in the photos, right? The first thing the judge is going to say is, who's authenticating these photos? Who's going to say these are real? Who's going to say they took them or that they're not fake? Who's going to say that? You need a witness to say that.
Gotcha.
That's number one. Every piece of document has to have a human authenticate it, or at least tell us why, it's computer generated, it's not faked somehow.
Got it.
What you got to do.
Wow. Okay. Here's another great question. That was excellent. Thank you so much. If I missed the question, please forgive me, y'all. The Macrons are rich. Do you think they're trying to bankrupt Candace?
They're trying to shut her up using money. Yeah. We talked about that. A lawsuit, a civil lawsuit, is a war waged with dollar bills. The more dollar bills you have, the more soldiers you have in your war, and that's what's going to happen.
Yeah,
but Candace is very rich, also.
Right. She's not a slouch herself.
Yeah. So.
All right, and I'll get that question twice. You asked that question twice, Wise. I'm sorry. All right, here's another question. Will the Macrons have to testify in open court because they brought the case?
Yeah, that's a good one. They're going to subject themselves to depositions first and testimony later because they don't have a right not to testify. It's not a criminal charge against them. So, I mean, I guess, no, I'm going through a thing. So here's how it would be. So Candace can call them as witnesses. They'll probably call themselves as witnesses and be like, Bridget will be like, I've been a woman my whole life. Oh my God, I can't believe this. She's caused so much damage to me. Emmanuel will be like, this caused damage to me, caused like all this pain for me and my wife. It sucks, right? So yeah, they're going to testify. Then Candace's lawyers can cross-examine and say, boo, 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 right? Okay. Candace can also call them. The only time I can imagine that the Macrons would not have to say something is if someone accuses them of a crime and they take the fifth and be like, well, the answer to that question would make me admit guilt to something. But that's not a good look, right? They won't want to do that.
If they plead the fifth, that's going to be bad look for sure.
It's going to be a bad look in the public eye, but the jury's not allowed to consider it, but it's still a bad look in the public eye. So, yeah, we'll see how that plays out. But yes, they definitely will be taking the stand if this goes to trial. 100%. Guaranteed.
Wow.
Yeah.
Kathleen
That's why I'm saying, why did they file it?
Why did they file it? Right.
Yeah.
All right. Let me see real quick. I watch French influencers, as Kathleen Kelly says. They say that the woman being sued there is going to join Candace in her lawsuit in the U.S. Is that possible?
Well, Candace is not filing the lawsuit, but she can call upon this other woman. Likely she will.
Right.
Candace
yeah. Okay.
Can anyone within the U.S. It's going to be a little bit tougher to get an international. Oh, what happened? Oh, give me 1 second. 1 second. 1 second.
My guest is on that LA Wi-Fi.
Oh, hold on. My camera.
He's on Karen Bass Mobile out there. Huh. All right. So I got that question. Thank you, Kathleen. Excellent question. I see some other great ones. I got you queued up here, people. We're ready to get those as soon as my guest comes back.
My camera overheated. You guys got me there?
Yeah, we got you. Yeah.
Camera overheated. Damn. Give me 1 second.
What kind of camera you have? All right. So my guest's camera overheated. I'm gonna get him out for a second. All right. So I'm gonna, of course, ask him these questions. So as soon as he's able to get back in, we'll add him back in. I think he's back now. Oof. All right.
It's hot in here.
If it matters, we can't hear anything. So if you need to turn your air on,
can you hear
I don't want you. No, I can't hear anything.
All right, I just turned it on.
Yeah,
I
it sounds
ran,
perfect.
turned it on, lifted up the camera veil. Man, I got the doors open. Now the neighbors are watching. They're getting a live show too, but they don't count as a live
Man,
stream.
tell them to join the best live chat on the internet. Come on now.
You gotta join.
All right.
You gotta join. All right, tell
Where
me
is
what
this
the
one?
question again. Let's
Okay,
see.
so here's a question.
Oh yeah.
And I believe they're talking about Natasha Ray, somebody said.
Yeah.
So here it is, Natasha Ray. Okay, go ahead.
So yes, Candace can bring her in and say, hey, I need to, I'm going to subpoena you. I'm going to subpoena you and you come and tell us the things you know and the things you found. So everyone in the jury can see why I believe the things I believe. I'm not nuts. I didn't make this up. I wasn't reckless. I was doing my due diligence, and you did the due diligence, right? And what's her name's going to say, yeah, this is what I found, yada, 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 yada. It's up to the jury to decide if that's legit. But yeah, she can absolutely subpoena her if she's, I mean, it's going to be tough because the subpoena power of the court might not go to international, but if that woman is going to help and fly out, then yeah, so be it. That'd be helpful.
Wow. Okay.
Sure. You know?
Is there anything that looks not admissible that you've read or?
That's a good question. Something that would be not admissible from the complaint. Likely. So some of the photos when she was a child, this is how I would challenge Brigitte's photos. You can say, how do I know that's real? Well, we can bring a witness. What witness can you bring? Well, usually you bring the person who took the photo, but that person's probably not around anymore.
Right.
You bring someone who was there when the photo was taken, but what if no one was around anymore? What if all the siblings or family members are gone? You know?
Mm-hmm.
So who are you gonna bring? I'm gonna bring Brigitte. The Macrons, we're gonna testify that that's me. But you were so young. How do you know that was you? How do you with this little baby photo? I don't remember a baby photo being taken of me. I don't remember. Then okay, what about the birth certificate? Here's another one. How do we know
birth announcement? Yeah.
They're gonna bring they're not gonna bring the doctor. They're not gonna bring, and it wasn't even a birth certificate. I think it was a birth announcement.
Announcement, yeah.
So the announcement was made. The birth announcement is hearsay. You have to bring the actual witness who said this statement. Or where is that witness going to be? Well, I don't know. Who actually submitted that? How do we know it's true? Like, that's the problem with hearsay. Is like, well, the newspaper said it, but the newspaper's not an official record. Because the newspaper is just printing what someone else told them, so we don't know if what they're saying is true. Newspaper could say, Jason said it's raining. We didn't check it, so we posted it. Well, where is he now? Where's the guy who said this? We need that guy in court. Those are the things I could find that would probably not be admissible. If they can find official birth records from the government records are official, even if the person who made that record isn't here yet or isn't here anymore. It's a government record that's always kept, and it's assumed that the government did everything correctly. They have no reason to lie. They're just like, okay, this person doesn't know what's going on. So in situations, government records are usually assumed to be true until proven to be false. So yeah, it's a fight. It's a fight. I'm telling you.
This is going to be interesting, to say the least. Okay, LS is causing trouble. Says, I bet the Macrons got AI working overtime to fill in their backstory.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I can dig it. Is there anything? So we said anything you see or inadmissible. Is there anything that you're like, man, that's going to be hard to overcome that? Any evidence or anything that you say, man, this one's going to be a bugger?
100% the lack of a blood test. 100%. Candace is going to be harping on that multiple times. You're showing me a picture that no one can validate. You're showing me not a birth record, but an announcement that someone randomly made. We don't even know who that might not even come in. Why don't you just take a blood test and get this over with? Why wouldn't you do some closed off blood test like we said? No one can say what's outside of the XYXX, and that's it. Why don't you guys do that?
So let's say the Macrons are going to, they already know we're going to do a blood test.
Oh, okay.
But we want to really stop anybody from ever doing this again. So we really want to drag this out to the point where Candace is begging us, like, okay, please, like, stop this.
Right.
How long do you drag this out until you pop up with the 23andMe DNA test showing that in fact she is a woman? How long do you drag it out?
So you're saying you're saying they have the car, they're gonna do it.
Right, they're gonna do it. They got
How long
the
do they
Uno
drag that?
reverse, the draw 55 card. They're about to drop it on. They can do it whenever they want to.
I
How
know.
long do you drag it out? But you really don't want this person to ever think about this again. Even though you're gonna,
if they are actually upset about the damages being caused, they would play that card right away. Like if they had that, if they were gonna play it, I would have played it in the complaint and been like, this is what, because the whole world is watching. So
Yeah.
on the complaint, I would have been like, here's the blood test, proving it. And then so many people would be like, yeah, that's pretty legit. And like, we're gonna prove it. We videotape the whole thing. Like someone just, or whatever they do.
right. Yeah. However long, however
always
it works
submitted
out.
to her blood test. And now we're gonna sue her. And that's it. And they would do that, and then they would be like, now she better settle or we're gonna slaughter her at trial. So she's probably gonna settle, come crawling back and be like, I'm sorry. I don't know if they would waste too much time, because as time drags on, we're gonna be on the next news cycle. We're gonna be on the next, like, oh yeah, they sued her or whatever. I don't know. Whatever happened with that? No one's really following that much. So if they wanted to kill the story, like assassinate the story with this lawsuit, they should have come up right up front with everything and just boom, kill the story, and then deal with her fallout later.
So, though I agree with you, I'm only asking to make sure. Would there be a strategy like if we do it too early, there won't be. We really want her to feel the bite of having to pay her lawyers, and really want to feel the bite of going through this. So we might. Would it be a strategy to say, hey, the very last day of deposition, we're gonna be like, oh, by the way, here's the blood test. And we bring Maury Popovich in and say,
right.
you are the mother or whatever.
Yeah. There's not much strategy in it. I understand that, make her feel the burn, but remember, a settlement has to be an agreement by both sides. So they could be like in the main complaint, the very first like initial complaint lawsuit, they could put the test out, and then she could be like, I want to settle, and they'll be like, no, you're not settling. We're not agreeing to any amount. 100 million, 55,000, or like whatever, 5 bill. Like they could say whatever, and she's like, oh, I can't. I gotta go forward. So now she's gonna feel the burn. Anyways, they could take her all the way to trial, and make her bleed, that way too. So there's no, I can't perceive a better benefit than that.
So, okay. So if it were possible that they just wanted to be petty and really hurt her, it's not unreasonable to say, yeah, they have the blood test. They've brought it out. Now they could have done it earlier. I do agree with that, but you know what? They've got it. Here it is. It's been authenticated. It's been notarized. 9 cameras are there to film it. All that kind of stuff like that. There's no way the conspiracy theorists cannot do that. And now we're just going to drag you out. Like, you're going to beg us to settle this.
Yeah.
You're going to go on your show. Okay. Wow.
Yeah, they don't have to settle. They could be like, nope, not settling. And they don't have to file. Remember, the Macrons don't have to file a motion to have the judge like just get to the answer right away. They could just be like, we're not filing that. Like, it would be weird. It would be really weird for Candace to then be like, I just want to settle. Judge, can you take it and just prove that I lost? Like, you can't do that. So she wouldn't do that. So it's like kind of yeah. And then she would just roll the dice probably at the end and hope that a jury gets into conspiracy mode and is like, this is totally not real. Like, this blood test is fake. That's maybe her play in that scenario.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is there any, I don't know if you've ever had to deal with a blood test or DNA test or paternity test. Does the other side have to be a part of it at all? Like, my lawyers have to be there when the doctor takes a blood draw, or do you just get the results, or what?
No. Legally, no. What you have to have is an affidavit, or which is a sworn statement, signed, sworn, written statement of a person, or the live testimony of the person saying, yeah, I took the blood from so-and-so. The vial didn't have anyone else's blood in it. It was empty, had preservatives, yada, yada. I took the blood. I put it in here. I took it to the lab, and then I gave it to the lab guy. And then the lab guy's like, yeah, I took it, and I tested it, and I found blah, blah, blah. And that's just, you just need live testimony legally.
Got you. Now, LS is not feeling me. He said nobody's going to buy them showing up with a piece of paper, a vial of blood, or video saying Brigitte is a woman. That's fair. That's fair. Now,
maybe no one in the public, but the jury might. The jury might, like, they just imagine they're going to try to find a jury that doesn't know much about the story, has not heard about it, and they're just going to hear about, you think that lady is a man. Well, why'd you think that? Because some people said it. Okay, cool. Then that lady's like, here's my blood. I'm not a man. Like, oh, shoot, dude, she just showed the blood. What do you have, Candace? And that's fake. It's like, I mean, why do you think everything is fake, Candace? That's
Everything's
what the
fake.
jury might think, an impartial jury who isn't following the story. So, yeah.
All right. Do they have birth certificates in France? I know I could Google, but I'll just ask it here. I don't know.
I don't know either.
I don't know either.
So my experience with other countries is that, yeah, they usually have birth certificates back then, but it probably wasn't as standardized as we have here, where it was like, you know, if you have someone like born in like a small town, there's gonna, like, later on they're gonna be like, oh, hey, this is my son, he's 9 years old, he was born 9 years ago. Oh yeah, sure, no problem. You know, what's his name at the register, because it's like hard to travel, it's not worth it. It's like, why do we need to know? Now, Brigitte was born, according to her lawsuit, was born to like a chocolatier,
right?
I think they had money in Amiens, but like, so I imagine they would have done it, but if they didn't, I don't know if it's like a big conspiracy. And again, Candace's position is, yes, they had a birth certificate for baby Brigitte, but baby Brigitte is not current Brigitte, multiverse. So,
oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
She's not. Candace won't flinch at that.
Man, it's wild. Now, this isn't like paternity court. Why would she be expected to give any tests?
Right.
Okay, go ahead.
So it's about Brigitte, or the Macrons have to prove that what Candace said was not true. So they could prove it whatever way they want. Candace will respond and be like, why didn't they just take a blood test? It's the best way. Why didn't they show that receipt? We're at Costco. Why aren't they showing it? They came to court saying they bought this stuff. They came to court saying they're going to prove it. Easiest way to prove it is a $50, $100 blood test. Why didn't they do it, ladies and gentlemen? Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, what are they hiding? And if you have a doubt as to what they're hiding, why would you blame me for not having any doubt about what they're hiding? I don't have actual malice. I win. That's how Candace would do it.
Okay. No, I'm processing that. I can dig it. What happens if Candace's legal team challenges the fact that they can't witness the blood test? Can they do that?
Well, what they would do is they challenge the authenticity of the blood test. They'd say, and the judge would be like, why? And they'd be like, well, we don't have a witness saying it. The judge would be like, Macron, do you have a witness? They'd be like, yeah, our witness is Jared. Like
Jared.
The guy right. From Subway. Then you got problems. But like,
wait, what is it called? What is it? Any test? Isn't it called Any Test? Isn't that a place where you can go get blood? You can go get drug testing.
Right, but they have to have the actual witness testify.
Who did the actual
affidavit? Right. So Candace for sure will fight it. Right. The Macron might be like, look, you pick the lab, and then we'll all do it together. And then what? What if it comes back XX? Then what, Candace? Then what? Like you're cooked. You're so cooked. Like there's nothing else. There's no way out of that.
So, okay. Here, okay. Let me, this is a great scenario. We kind of talked about it, but I got you here and you're welcome to tell me, Jason, it's time to go to bed. Okay.
I'm 3 years behind. I'm 3 years. I'm 3 hours behind you, man. It's not time to go to bed.
In the multiverse, man. So Candace's team and the Macron team go to Any Test. Yeah. They're all there. They do the blood test. So let's say you can get the results back in like 10 minutes. Sure. So you get the results back and they say, congratulations, you're a girl. It's a girl right there in front of them.
Right.
And the Macrons are looking at him like, we plan on taking this to trial.
Yep.
Or the Macron says, hey, now we're done. Write us a check and get out of here. Since you said you want to pay our legal fees, write this check and get out of here. Could it be like that? Could it be that simple?
Oh, totally. Totally could be that simple.
Okay.
It's between the parties. It's between, they could call each other up on the phone
Right
with
now.
parties and be like, bro, you want to end this? Let's end the beef. All right, done. Call the lawyers up in the morning. We're ending the beef. What? Are you sure? Blah, blah. I'm ending the beef. The client has the final say on ending the beef. So yeah, it could be that simple. It could be for whatever reason. It could be like, I'm going to send you pepperoni pizza. I know you love it. You guys don't have a good pepperoni pizza in France. Let me get you the hottest pepperoni pizza out of New York. And you just, or maybe like a hot and ready from Little Caesars. I don't know. And like, and
At least send them a Chicago stuffed pizza. At least send them a, pizza lasagna. At least send them that.
The pizza lasagna. We don't know what will sway them. And they'll be like, all right, let's end it. And that's it. That will be the end of it. And they might even agree. No one's ever to talk about it again. Non-disclosure agreements. No one says what happened. No one says what happened behind closed doors. No one says why we ended it. We just announce together, joint announcement, we've ended it. And no
so they could put anything in there, like you got to nuke your merchandise store. Yeah. You got to, all that kind of stuff, whatever. Okay. 100%, all right.
100%. I'm one. That's a good one because they definitely will tell her to nuke the store.
That store is bananas. That store is diabolical. Yeah. All right. What is a righteous perspective? Says yes, a birth certificate's known as, I'm not going to pronounce that. I'm not going to do it. Yeah. Are issued in France. They are a key part of the country's civil registration system, which began in 1792. Shout out to Wise. I appreciate you. Great to know that. I found that as well.
That's great to know that.
Yeah.
So then it would be weird if there was a discrepancy there, right? But again, she's not challenging her newest theory is not challenging that Brigitte ever existed, but that the person that's currently saying they're Brigitte is not baby Brigitte. So yeah. What was that? No witness for Candace being. Huh.
Oh, I want to get as much. Look, if they just go to any test and you got Candace's witnesses. Okay. Oh, I got it. Maybe this. I think I understand what LS is saying.
Yeah.
So let's say that the Macron's attorney and them go and get the test, and Candace is not there to witness at all.
Okay.
But they do have the affidavit from Scott, the technician.
Right.
And so, yes, the Macrons are here. We got the video evidence of them walking in. We can't say video evidence of them actually getting the test done, but we got that, and they sign an affidavit. Would that be enough, or would they need to, or would that only feed the conspiracy?
Everything will always feed a conspiracy theory, right? But it comes down to what the jury would believe. Is the jury going to believe? So it starts off with, all right, these people said this happened. And they're going to look at Candace. And she's going to say, what is she going to say? She's going to say it was faked, it was swapped, it was whatever. They're going to be like, okay, what evidence do you have for that? Now, like, a big thing we could learn from the OJ case with blood, that was like one of the first, if not the first, like big criminal case. With
first one, yeah.
They had the blood of OJ at his house and at the scene of the crime and in the car mixed with the blood of his wife, right? Like, so like, oh crap, dude. Like, how the hell did all that? Whatever. People were freaked out because of the handling of the blood. LAPD messed up bad. LAPD, so okay, it sounds like on its surface, damn, dude, they have his blood. And then the defense attorneys come in and be like, where'd you go after you collected the blood? Did you take it right to the lab? He's like, oh no, I went to I went wherever. Like, where'd you go after that? Well, I went home. You went home? You went home with the evidence? Like, yeah. So was there any reason to say that he tampered with it? No. But was there a reason to doubt it? Yes. Yeah. That's what the jury said. Like, well, was he gonna? Then they find out that the detective is racist. So it's like, oh man. Like, now they've opened this thing wide open, right? So Candace's lawyers can be like, where'd you go with the blood after that? And it's like, oh, it's all right here. Okay, well, why didn't you film the inside? Like in your scenario, right? Why didn't you film the inside? Well, because we can't do it. Well, you knew that it was going to be questioned in court. Why wouldn't you film it? There's no other patients in there. I'm sure you cleared it out because it's the president of France walking in. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's always a way to like needle if they're missing something. But if I was the Macron's lawyer and I was going to do that, I was going to make it so picture perfect. I would invite Candace's people. If I know I'm going to win, I would invite Candace's people. Come on out. Get all the cameras. We'll get freaking Mr. Beast in here. We'll have all the videos you ever needed. All right. And he's going to be, Dad, this man's blood is going to, like, whatever it is, I'm right here in the middle of the Macron trial. Like,
do you remember, what's his name? Geraldo Rivera. Remember back?
Yes.
Yes. That was the original Mr. Beast. That is hilarious. Okay, I can dig it. If most people, I didn't go over that case, but the Karen Reed trial, Remember how crazy the evidence was in the Karen Reed trial? They put blood evidence in Solo cups out of the recycle bin.
Oh yeah,
It was the craziest thing, man. So okay, I can dig it. I can dig it. All
So
right.
people will always doubt, but like, would the jury believe it? Probably, unless there's a major problem.
Yeah. Okay. Capone's vault. That's exactly what it was. Thank you so much, Brian. All right, here, I got a couple more. All right. Please ask the lawyer for repercussions. Lawyer, the repercussions that Macron's will face if it's proven that Brigitte Macron is a man.
Okay. So nothing happens to the plaintiff if they lose. Most of the time. If the defendant can show that the plaintiff is bullying me with lawsuits and they knew this is fake, they knew this is false, which arguably, if it's proven Brigitte was a man and has XY, she would know that, right? So then Candace can turn and be like,
I didn't know this. I didn't know it.
Yeah, how do you not know?
I didn't know.
Candace can turn around and be like, you guys bullied me into this whole thing. You dragged my name through the mud. You screwed me out of all this money. You owe me for my lawyer's fees at the very least. So, and likely it would be the lawyer's fees. So a judge might actually entertain that and be like, look at Brigitte and be like, bro, and actually,
bro,
you knew and you did all this to her and she proved that, you know, but I don't think, see, if they know it, they won't do the blood test. They won't submit to the blood test. So then how it won't reach that level. Like both sides, it's kind of a standoff in that sense, is that Brigitte, if she knows, she would never take the blood test.
Correct.
Right? So, so then we'd never get to that level. Even if Candace wins, it will be the jury just saying, yeah, we don't think she had actual malice, or we get it. But there would be no actual hard proof that Brigitte was a man originally.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, that's a dope question. Thank you, Ascent of Phoenix. Okay, Brian is asking, and I think this kind of goes into it as well. Ask him if he thinks Candace has an actual substantive case. So this is my only question. I want to add to this. So Brian, hopefully don't be mad at me, Brian. What if the Macrons say no DNA? Everything that we have is going to be, pictures and announcements, maybe some eyewitnesses and whatnot, but no DNA at all. Can they do that? I'm sure they can do it, but
they can do whatever they want. Yeah, they could say we have no evidence, right? So the question is, if they don't hit the bar, Candace wins. If they don't hit the bar of proving that what she said is false and she had actual malice, Candace wins. If they hit the bar and Candace has an actually substantive case where she says, here's proof that they are lying, right? My fingers, I messed up my fingers. It looks all weird on camera, but whatever.
It's okay.
If they say that, then, or if Candace says that, then Candace would win no matter how high of a bar the Macrons proved. Does that make sense? So step one, Macrons have to prove it's false and that she had actual malice, like she knew it was false or should have known it was false. She was reckless.
Right. We sent her a whole bunch of pictures.
Yeah.
We had announcements. She should have known. That was enough.
Should have known. We hit the bar. Jury's like, we're convinced. Now it's Candace's turn. Here's why what they're saying is not true. The only way Candace can win it at that point, if the jury's convinced of this, then Candace has to come back with the truth trumps, right? She'll say like, here's proof that Brigitte is actually a man. Boom, 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 boom. Then it's like, oh shoot, man, like that. Then the jury will be told by the judge they have to disregard the Macron side and make Candace win. It's a win card. It's that Uno reverse.
Got it. Wow. Okay. Thank you, Brian. All right. Another quick question here. Megan says, does Candace acting unreasonable when it comes to the type of evidence that she considered valid and asked for will lend to the Macron's claim of malice?
Yeah, I think so. I think we talked about that a lot.
Yeah.
Like, how much does she want? Like, we gave you everything. We gave you a lot. Like, it's kind of wild to say you want more pictures when you brought this up, Jay. Like, a lot of people don't have that many pictures. We gave you what we got. Like, we gave you the best stuff we had. How much do you want? You're now fishing for more, and like what we gave you was enough, and now you just want to make it a big deal. You're doing this on purpose to make money, and that's why you're ignoring the truth. So yeah, I think it could play into it. That if she's being unreasonable, to be like, it's so far out there, Yeah,
no, I totally get it. And I'm just wondering if, because again, like I've said before several times, it just boggles my mind that the person that's being sued can determine whether or not the evidence is valid or not. And that just seems weird to me. Like, that would be like OJ saying, nah, this knife thing right here, not so much. These gloves, nah, can't do that.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
That's crazy.
But it's up to the jury to believe yeah, I know. That is a good question. That is an interesting point. Like, it's subjective, is what you're saying. It's subjective to the person being accused.
Yeah.
But like, it's up to the jury to decide if what they're saying makes sense and if they believe Candace or they don't.
I got you. The Macrons better have an airtight chain of custody on Brigitte's blood sample. Oh, absolutely. I agree 100%.
Yeah.
If they do it, then they, but again, if they do it, I'm going to be sitting here saying, couldn't you not have done this 2 months ago?
Yeah.
A long time ago?
Right.
But let me point out something also. They didn't do a blood test with any of the other defamation cases.
Right. But that was I think it's a different standard. I didn't
Okay.
study the French rules on it.
Oh, yeah.
But
Okay. Yeah, you're right.
It's because of a different standard. And I think it was the state going after them, not the Macrons going after them, I think. I might be wrong.
No, I got you. Well, thank you, Brian. I appreciate you, man. A little thank you money. Thank you for the $5 super, sir. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Okay. At the end of the day, Kelly says, we don't know why Candace thinks she's entitled to private verifications of other person's gender, but can the Macrons win without, we kind of said this, test based on paperwork? They could win without doing a blood test. Yeah.
Yeah, if the jury believes them. Yeah.
Is there any way to add, like, for example, Candace talks about the 21 or 22 questions that she sent to the Macrons that they just disregarded them.
Yeah.
Well, like, is there any kind of standard, like, you don't deserve to talk to me? I mean, you don't deserve to get me to answer these questions. Is that too far-fetched or?
Yeah, I think the Macrons are gonna be like, well, how much more do you want? And Candace will be like, I asked you a bunch of questions because what you gave me wasn't enough. And now you ghosting me on the questions makes me wonder why would you ghost me on this stuff? You went this far. Like, why are you ghosting me now? That's kind of weird, don't you guys think? And that's what the jury will have to decide.
Yes.
It's crazy how much of it is up to a jury.
Right. It's a Tinder date. It's like Tinder, Candace. He just ghosted you. He went on a date with you and then he ghosted you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, technically she wants blood. I mean, literally and figuratively, however you want to parse it, she does in fact want blood.
Right.
Which is kind of crazy. To me, it still just boggles my mind. And I've said this before, I don't think that Candace is properly reflecting her role in this discussion. Like, you do realize that, sure, you might be a big fish in this little pond here, but when we put you in the ocean, you are a minuscule drop. And we're talking about maybe you should just be a little bit more circumspect to the fact that you're talking to, as you said, a leader of a NATO country. Like, calm down a little bit.
Right.
Sparky?
Right.
Like, just take it down a square. Take it down a square.
Right.
But now this was great, man. Thank you so much for this, legend. I appreciate y'all.
My pleasure, man.
And if the mods can just double check, make sure we put the Heavy Metal Lawyers link in the chat. He's been so gracious. I think we reached out to you earlier this week and you said, absolutely, man. And he's been so gracious and giving us a lot of his time because you're over in California. We can still go another 2 hours.
Oh man, I'm down. I'm down. You're the one who has to sleep probably. So.
Right. Let's see. What if Candace worked with Prashard by proxy?
What do you mean by that?
Yeah, I don't know about that one. Prashard is the one that wrote the book, Becoming Brigitte.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know what she did interview him as far as I know, yeah.
What do you mean, Brian?
Yeah, I might need a little bit more on that one, Brian. But let me real quick while Brian's tapping in. France is a different country, true. The fact that the media there is silent on this says a lot. Yeah, I've heard from people from France in my comments as well as email. And a lot of them said they're really not it's not as big a deal as Candace liked to frame it. Like it was a roaring fire in France and she just, kicked open the gate and now it's taking over the world. Right. As far as I know, and again, I'm not again, it's anecdotal. I got like 3 or 4 comments and maybe 2 emails. But a lot of people saying, we're not really concerned about this.
Right. It's true.
So
I think that's funny, but that we all care about it. But we love drama.
yeah, I mean,
this is reality TV, you guys. This is the best reality
in
TV.
4K, right? This is unscripted, as far as we know. This is unscripted reality TV. This is the next bet. This is the next best thing. Court TV is crazy. So let's just,
right.
yeah. I mean, are you keeping up with the Cardi B story? Like that one's crazy.
Yeah, I'm kind of more or less. Not enough though. I was kind of following Megan Thee Stallion.
Yeah, there was that. Yeah, I mean,
she's suing for defamation too. That's kind of nuts.
Oh yeah.
And so that they brought out what's his name from jail, and he was refusing to come out.
That's crazy.
And then like it's like this. It's reality. It's better than reality TV, right? It's like
way better. Way better.
Yeah.
More better than wrestling. More better than all of it.
Right.
But like even with the and we brought it up earlier about how Candace attempted to sue Cardi B back in 2021.
Right.
Over a very similar thing. Like Cardi B made a post about Candace and she didn't like it. She was going to sue her and never did.
Right.
Like to this moment, I still don't know why she didn't sue her, but because she said she was.
Well, because then her whole private life would be on display. Cardi B would get to ask questions about her husband. Weren't you here and there with this girl? And like, what's like, oh my God. Like, even if he's totally clean, it's like, why are you, it doesn't look good. It's
right.
Like,
for sure.
So that's why.
Man, can you imagine if the Macrons had just done what you told them to do? And just.
Yeah, they didn't call me, man. I told them, bro, call me. But my channel was a little small. It's still kind of small potatoes. So like next year, they'll call me on the next one.
Well, who knows? I mean, it's going to be a chilling effect. Okay, all right. Yeah. Here's my last question. I'm going to let you get out of here. When does this end? So let's say it goes all the way to trial.
Yeah. And
you can see into the future. You got your, multiversal vision.
Right.
When does it end?
It ends at the verdict.
Right.
Sort of. Maybe not.
Yeah.
Because then a verdict comes out. Whichever side loses is going to be like, I want to take this on appeal. But I got to tell you,
for sure.
Appeal does not question the jury's decision. Appeal will only question legal missteps by the judge.
Correct.
So, for example, if the judge says, let's say the Macrons take a blood test and they say, we want to bring it in and it shows XX, but something is like, for some reason, the judge doesn't allow it in. And they say, for a legal reason, I can't let it in. And the Macrons lose and Candace wins. The Macrons would then appeal and be like, why did this judge not let the blood test in? Now we're fighting about the judge's call. It's like a referee. Like, did the referee get it right? Did he make this call right? Because when he got the call wrong, the Macrons would say, whoever's appealing, this judge got the call wrong and I lost because of that.
Yeah.
So now you got to undo it and redo the whole case.
Wow. So, okay, just for fun, how long will this take? Just in your mind.
Years. We're talking years.
So are you saying 2028?
Yeah, probably. I mean, like, if you're going in appeals, right? So it's going to be 2026, the trial, most likely. If not
easily.
Right?
Yeah.
So if the trial is like super long, I mean, look at this thing. It's going to take the judge like 3 days to read the damn complaint. And then what's her name is going to say her piece, and everyone's going to say their piece, right? And then the trial is going to go on for a long time. Once the jury returns a verdict, then it's like the appeals process starts. You got like you got like a month basically to appeal it. So, okay, fine. They do the appeals process. They just file a paper. We want to appeal it. Then they have months to turn in their appeal. Then they have months to respond and back and forth, back in the whole like sludge, right? Then finally, if it goes up, if a court, wants to take it up,
appeal, right?
Person, then they do arguments. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes the courts are like, we've heard enough. Like on the paper, we got it. But likely they'll hear argument because it's a big deal. It's a head of state. Of course, this all looks bad for the head of state. Candace does not really lose much by going that way other than money and her reputation. Yeah, but like heads of state, it's like you're fighting a little guy. Like, why are you doing that? So, I don't know. But yeah, if everyone takes it to the mat and fights the whole way, you're talking years. So yeah.
Wow. Okay, let me get this last one because I think this is a good one.
Yeah.
Will Candace's response be public for us to view? So it'll be just like the Macrons, right?
yeah, you bet. You bet. All court proceedings in the US are open unless if there's like a minor involved, stuff like that, that's where they like kind of block that. But I'm sure she's going to file her motion to dismiss, and I'm saying it's going to be a public thing.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's for the public more than for the judge. That's what's going to happen. So yes, it will be public for us to view. You can Google it. A lot of websites post up these things that are published.
Right.
It's allowed. The only time anything would be under seal is if it's a significant issue of privacy that they can show the judge this needs to be under seal. And that's like, let's say like Brigitte takes a blood test and it has some of her diseases. Then they would say this part of the blood test has to be under seal. We don't need this in public. Yeah, and the judge would probably agree.
Got it.
But then the other parts that are relevant is coming in. And that's coming in front of the jury. It's coming in publicly in any filing. So yeah.
Wow. Okay. Last one. Did it seem to you guys that Candace seemed to support Burchard's claims about Macron's gender more than her own strong concerns about grooming and international PDF file activity? This is a great question.
I don't know why the PDF was not the story. That to me is like massively strange. Like, what?
I agree. Like, that's what I've been saying for the longest. Like, to me, the grooming, the international PDF activity, that's the worst thing of it. Like, whether or not the dude looks like a lady, we can still have that discussion, but that's not the biggest issue. And I agree with him. I think she focused on the wrong thing.
Yeah.
But for this to be where it is, she focused on the wrong thing. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Now that I think of it, like, from what I understand, Candace is trying to say that they're lying about this, so they're lying about everything else. But why focus on? You know why she's focusing on it? I can tell you, because it's easy to prove. Like, just disprove it. Just show me the receipt. Just do it. And she's calling them out. I think that's why. It's harder for her to prove the other stuff. That's probably why she's hooked on this. Like, what? Just prove this one piece. If you can't prove this one piece, you must be lying about all these other pieces. That's what I think Candace might be going for, having argued with people in my life. Like, bro, just prove this one piece. I'll let you go on the rest. It's like, no, I don't have to prove it. It's like, well, you're not proving it because you've got no truth. You've got no receipts. It's like, that's, I think, what's happening. And it's turned into a legal battle, which is funny, but it's now high stakes. So.
Yeah. I can dig it. And I agree with you. I just feel like even with this, even if she collects the W here.
Yeah.
What does it mean?
For Candace?
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, sure. Say again?
Her profile goes through the roof.
Her profile goes through the roof.
One of the biggest scandals in modern history. That's her win. That's what she wants. I think.
I'm like, I totally can get with that. But I'm just like, I don't think a lot of people are going to no one's going to lose any sleep. Gas prices are going to still be what they are. Legends office is still going to be warm. You know what I'm saying? Like, not much is going to, like, what is really going to change? Now, again, going back to what Brian said here, if you had uncovered some humongous PDF file activity and saved some children from this in real time, say, hey, we know that the PDF people meet over here, they file, and you can really point them out, and you can rescue some children from some trafficking and such of that nature. I think a lot more people would support that than just saying, well, dude looks like a lady. Because the bridge from dude looks like a lady to PDF file.
Yeah, I know. It's a stretch.
In my opinion, I just like, there's just other things that she could have focused on. But I mean, it is what it is. We're going to find out. We will find out for sure. I think we talked about it. You do believe that, do you think there's any chance we'll get her response before September 11th?
No, the only thing we'd get before September 11th is if they ask for an extension again. Like, hey, this is getting really, we're working on it, Judge. It's getting really hot. Like, can I get another week or two? That's the only thing we hear.
No.
Yeah.
All right. So I basically, what you're saying is I should not be buying tickets to fly up to Delaware to go to the courthouse anytime soon, right?
They won't play it out in the courthouse. They won't play it out. What they'll do is this is how it will work out. If you really wanted to go to the courthouse and report on it, it would be filed on September 11th. And then if the judge wants to hear argument, the judge will set a date. Be like, all right, on this day, we're going to have, I want to hear from both
Or
parties.
argument, right.
I have questions about what you guys filed. But what's really going to happen is they're going to file a motion to dismiss, and then the other side has to file the opposition. And then Candace can file a reply to the opposition. This is like diss tracks, I'm telling you.
This is making me sleepy, man. I'm about to go take a nap. Wow. Okay.
Like on paper, that's very slow.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
And the judge will be like, I'm ruling on the motion. I'm set. I don't need to hear anybody. Or the judge will be like, yeah, I want to hear from you guys. I have questions from both sides. Let's hear it. And then they show up, and then they duke it out just for that.
So what you're telling me is what I see on Law and Order is not real. Man, come on, man. That thing is done in 45 minutes, man.
That's like, it's slower than the lead up, and then that stuff happens. But yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's all a lie. It's all a lie. That's craziness. Okay.
It's a lie.
Oh, man. Well, I want to say thank you so much, Legend. Please know that if anything comes up, you are welcome to come over here. We can have some fun talking about it, and you can educate us and drop us some knowledge. Well, let me just go ahead and get pencil in your book. As soon as Candace writes her, gives her reply, you know where you're going to be. So just go ahead and block that time out. Okay.
You got me.
Because
call me up, dude. Call me up.
I'm going to have questions.
Yeah. I love being here. You guys, you have a great community here. Everyone's really cool and inquisitive, like not just jumping on, like stupid things, but like actually asking serious questions that are legit good questions. Like even I didn't have the answer for, right? I'm like, I don't know. We could go this way, that way. I don't know. Sucks. It's like the lawyer answer. It depends, but that's what it is. Like I gotta tell you, there are chances of this and chances of that. And great questions here. Great community here. Thanks for the invite.
No problem, man. Thank you for being gracious, man. And I will, because you've been such a great guest, I will not hold you to playing a little tune on the way out the door.
Well, my finger's messed up. I injured it, so I can't.
What did you do, man? I saw you had like a Band-Aid on it earlier. What did you do?
Yeah, and then I took it off because it was like not matching. Kind of matches, but
I just saw it. I just figured something happened.
Yeah, dude. I'm not gonna show it because I think it's gross, but I got used to it.
Don't do it.
It's just like my finger's like kind of bent now. They say I tore not a ligament, a tendon on my finger, on my middle finger.
Doing what?
Imagine that. I gotta go to work and have this brace on my middle finger. And the judge thinks I'm like, if I go to court, the judge thinks like, why is this guy flipping me off every time he's like holding a piece of paper?
There you go. Well, don't get put in contempt. We don't want you to get thrown in contempt because you're flicking off the judge, man. Don't do that, man.
Right.
Keep me on speed dial. We'll come and rescue you.
Okay, I appreciate that.
All right. But man, again, thank you so much, man. Let me make sure that if the mods could very quickly make sure we have the heavy metal lawyer, his link in the chat. I know we put it in there earlier. Please go by and check out his content. He's done several videos about this case. He's talked about the ups and downs, the plus, the minuses. He's going to probably make you mad, just like that's why he's here tonight, because he made me mad. But I think it's fair. I really like the fact that you argued both sides of the case. And I think you gave, and let me as the virtual juror decide, but I appreciate that for sure.
Right.
Is that workers' comp?
Heavy metal? RJ, I wish, man. I was like going around work. I was like, guys, you realize that this happened on company time. I'd be out in Hawaii right now.
Come on, man.
I can't work. I can't work like this. But
it
wasn't. It was, if you knew my life is wild. And like the story was like the least wild thing. So I'm going to stick with, I was fighting a shark and then.
I love it.
And then the shark pulled a gun. So
Come on.
It was wild, man. So I had to poke him in the eye. It was rough. It was really rough. And then
I like that.
Yeah, thank God the dolphin crew. The dolphins are pretty. They love me.
Right. Yeah.
All the time. They came out and they supported. They got me back to shore. But unfortunately, they couldn't save the finger. So.
Gotcha. So basically, you hurt yourself getting the dishes out of the dishwasher. That's basically what happened. But
laundry. But you
there you go. Laundry at the dryer, man. It's a hazard.
It could happen. It got caught on something, and I felt the snap. I was like, "Man, this is like the lamest injury." Like, but it is what it is. It's all right. I'll get a crazier injury later. Don't worry.
Yeah, we'll stick with wrestling sharks and gun wielding shark. We'll stick with that.
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah, fighting ninjas. There we go.
Yeah. there were ninjas there, but I don't like to talk about that, you know, because it's like they don't exist. You know, they like to be. I jumped the
Right.
shark. Brian,
So technically, you jumped the shark, or got jumped by the shark.
Yeah, exactly. Great one.
We're out of control over here, man. We're out of control. Yes, absolutely. I agree. We're going to end with this one right here. Legend has been amazing. Yes, thank you so much, man. I really do appreciate it, man, for sure.
Thank you, guys.
I'm going to drop you back if you can hold on for a second. I appreciate it.
Of course.
Thank y'all so much, everybody. That was a lot of fun, man. We got a lot of good information. I'll be chopping this up, so we'll definitely be sharing some of the insights that our guests gave us. So thank y'all so much for rocking with us. Thank you so much for the very kind and very gracious super chats as well. Thank you for all the great commentary in the chat. I'm looking forward to round 2. So as soon as Candace drops her reply, we've already got proof positive that brother will come back. I'm looking forward to having him do that. So everybody have a fantastic rest of the day. Have a great Labor Day tomorrow. Enjoy yourself. If you're cooking out, whatever like that, do that. And until next time, everybody, grace and peace. Thanks so much. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of the Jay Whitt Podcast. If you enjoyed today's show, please do me a favor and hit me up with that 3-piece special. Like the video, subscribe, and of course, share it with somebody who would also enjoy this type of content. And make sure you leave a comment because I do pin the best comments to the top. So thank you so much for tuning in today. And until next time, everybody, grace and peace.